Well, you're about to.
Welcome to Car House. This is the Three Pedals podcast. We've got Al and Dan here today, as usual, along with myself, and we have the lovely AJ Garron joining us today for the podcast.
Thank you.
Fucking nailed it.
Yep. I like how I got lovely. I didn't hear you say that in any other episode.
It's been a long week for Al.
Yeah. Yeah, and I got to go into work tomorrow.
Same.
So, yeah. All right. So, yeah, I got to really get in on this thing.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
The microphone problems have left
weird.
us from last week.
But Dan can sit fucking 20 feet from the thing.
Yep.
And it's perfect. But if I'm like 2 inches off to the side, you can't hear shit.
Is it the mic?
I don't know. It
or
might
is it
be.
maybe it's this mic stand?
Hey, I fixed that mic stand.
It looks good.
So,
What is that? A paint stick?
yeah, I broke up a paint stick.
you go.
I needed some thin wood. So
I have to post this.
Yeah, I did both of yours. I did both sides.
Appreciate it.
Because me and
No, I
Mike,
do
me and Mike
appreciate
don't have an issue over here.
Dude, this thing was falling down on
I
me.
heard it.
It was bad.
Well, that's how we got the air cooled thingies and mic drops.
Yeah.
I was looking over it, and he was just kept slouching back further and lower because it just kept dropping.
Yeah, eventually I just held on to the mic. And
Like a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So the last couple of weeks, you've opened up with, like, what's everybody been doing?
Yes.
Let's change it up a little bit. What is one thing this week that really pissed you off?
I mean, I told you about the 8 tires I did that I had basically dismounted and had to remount the same way to not get paid. So that's fun. Made an hour and a half yesterday.
that sucks.
You know, no fun. Besides that, softball got canceled this week,
Yep.
and the tournament for tomorrow got canceled. So,
Is that good or bad?
nah, I wanted to play.
Yeah.
Why?
Why what?
Why did it
Why
get
did it get
canceled?
Oh, so not enough people signed up for the tournament, not enough interest. They wanted like 8 teams, and I'm assuming they only had like half. And then a tree fell on the backstop. So it was supposed to be fixed Tuesday, it didn't, so they killed the rest of the week. So
That stinks.
it starts next week.
Oh, well.
I'm trying to hit dingers.
Yeah. I was thinking we should all have like a big game just with a bunch of people. I think it'd be awesome
Yeah,
this summer.
get all, like, the local...
Yeah.
Like, the local...
We'll go to a field and just set up.
There's a bunch of fields that they use for tournaments for softball, but like you could just show up there and...
We used to go to New Searles in Nashua. Like, I don't know if you guys know where that is.
No, but
it was like right off of Harris Road. And it was like the elementary school. They had like tennis courts. But like, I would just take Brody out there and just knock balls and just... He would just chase them. I could do that all day.
I'm sorry, you said hit dingers, and the only thing I've got in my head now is just like that meme with like the kid. I hit dingas.
I don't think there's anything that's pissed me off too much this week, honestly.
Good week.
I mean, no, it was a tough week. Oh, you know what?
I was gonna say there's
look
one
at my
thing.
hand. Do you see how like my fingers are missing skin?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was working on a car and it got pretty humid in the shop. I think it was like Tuesday night because it rained, and I was like reefing on this tie rod, right? And it was like not budging the way I wanted it to, and I had to adjust like 4 links, but regardless, I like eventually got everything dialed in, and I pulled my glove off, and like my skin is just like peeled off in like clumps. So that kind of sucked.
Yeah.
What caused it?
It was just have you ever left your hand in like water for too long and it starts to like get like
it's just from being
Yeah.
sweaty and it just
and I was forcing, like I was
Skin
putting
got
all
loose
my
and then you
effort
ripped it
into
off.
it, and like my hand kept like kind of slipping. So yeah, I think my glove filled up with water and aka sweat.
The sweats.
And then did I tell you about the week prior, dude? That baby hurt
I saw
pretty
it,
bad.
but I don't think you told me what
Yeah, my
happened.
hands have been through the ringer like the last couple of weeks. This one, I was hammering something, a knuckle maybe, and I smashed my index finger right on to a brake shield.
Ouch.
And it like that, it hurt. Like I knew it was gonna hurt. That night, I went to sleep, and it was pulsating through my whole hand. I was like, holy shit. I couldn't fall asleep. I had to stuff it in a bag of ice until it went numb. And then I was worried I was going to get like frostbite.
Yeah. I was,
but I did fall asleep.
I was working on a convertible top yesterday, and it was halfway up.
Boo.
Yeah, I was trying to rivet one of the strings back in, and I went to get out of the car, and I smashed the top of my head. But
lovely.
It like smashed and dragged, so I have like a welt line on the top of my head.
Isn't being a mechanic so wonderful?
It's the greatest.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Is.
That's
like herpes.
That's all you guys.
So we'll just hand it over.
He does it. He likes to do it on his own time.
Well,
cosplay is
that's
okay.
different.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember when Jared went to school to be a mechanic, and then he got out and realized he fucking hates it.
Yeah.
He worked at Volkswagen upstairs at Tully, and then he's like, it just ruined working on cars for him.
Well, I think we talked about it in the first episode. Like, I don't understand how you guys can work on cars especially you, Dan, work on cars all day and then go home
And work on cars.
and continue to work on cars.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That was like when I worked at the dealership, like at Volkswagen, before you guys were there. I washed cars. I was a detailer, a lot attendant, and like I had the dirtiest car at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did not want to do my own ever.
I used to love detailing cars, but now I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of time either.
Yeah.
But I do like doing. I wash my car like 3 times a year or something.
Yeah, I do the touchless wash after I'll have a good friend ceramic coat it, and then I should have you do it next
It's a
time.
major
'cause
key.
You never have any time.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. So,
But we could trade.
One of my old coworkers gave me his buffer.
Yeah,
I just haven't given it a shot yet.
you
Because
should see how much equipment I have for polishing cars. I have like everything you could ever need and want.
Yeah, what I need to do is I need to get like practice panels.
Yeah.
Just because I don't.
Oh, I got plenty of ship boxes you can.
I was gonna say maybe I should just come over your house.
stakes are low.
But yeah, like that's the only thing I haven't got into. But yeah, I mean, I told you I was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you were busting the EOS out, I was like, just bring it over, I'll clean it. Because like for me, it's
therapeutic.
Therapeutic, it really is.
every weekend.
The dirtier, the better, honestly.
Yeah, like all my coworkers give me shit. They're like, why do you wash your company car? Like, why don't you just bring it through like a touch car wash or like something like that? And I'm like,
Washville.
Why? I literally got the Mazda home and I washed it and I ceramic coated it because I was like, I still want it to look good.
The car wash up the road in Concord, like I think it's Loudon Road. It's like up a ways. There's a bunch, but it was like all touchless. You drive in, and it just like even the dryer goes over your car,
nice.
dude. That whatever the car wash that was, I forget which one it was, but it was unbelievable.
The only one I run in Concord is on Manchester Street. There's a Circle T, so like in the winter, I'll run the touchless.
What do you got? Do you got a setup at your house? I got one of those giraffe tools, like that wall mounted ones. I love that thing.
Yeah, so that's the goal in the next house is to actually create like my little domain. But right now I've just got like my little detailing cart and I've got like all my bottles and like all my stuff hanging off the sides and all my brushes and buckets and all that fun stuff.
Do you have? Is it plumbed out to the garage?
No, I just have I have the hose
Hook
outside,
up.
and I just like hook the hose up, and then it's good to go. It's plugged in, hung up for whenever I'm ready to do it. But
Yeah, I'd like to do like a wall mounted setup, but I also
you can run water in your because yours is attached to your garage, so you could get water in there. And then if you really want to spend a little extra money, you get the filter, so you don't even have to dry the car.
So I actually have a hot water tap.
I know, I saw that,
and it's filtered. Right, we only really use it for washing cars, but because we had high iron content because we have because all the rocks and candy and stuff, but it's awesome.
Yeah,
because it'll be like 20-30 degrees outside and I can wash a car, and then you can use the foam cannon. But I would my pressure washer is electric, and you have to like wheel it out. I keep it in the corner.
That's how
like
mine is too.
It's pretty easy, but
the wall mount's worth it. Like mine, I had one of the ones you drag out. It shit the bed, so I was like,
fuck it. That's what I'll do next time. And you can they're pretty compact. Like
it's like this big, and it's like it's got like 60 feet of hose, so I can like drag it all the way down the driveway.
That's like one of the things. Like Sean would kill me for saying it, but like the house we looked at today had a heated garage, and I was like,
see, I have a heated garage, but I don't heat it all the time.
No,
because it gets. I mean.
Well, you also don't want to heat it in the winter.
It doesn't get below freezing.
Because that's my biggest thing. All the liquids in my garage just break.
Some of it does get, so it doesn't shatter any liquids, but like I've noticed the shelf life on stuff.
Yeah.
isn't as long. So like if there's a bunch of stuff out there that I want to keep like really good, like if it's like expensive stuff, I'll just bring it down into my basement. But yeah, I would like to heat it all year round. It just doesn't seem like practical. And
it's also the size of a house.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's a 36 by 30 attached with an upstairs. So it
feels so much bigger than that.
I love that garage. I remember when you were building it out, I was like, oh man, I hope someday I can build a nice garage.
It's the only reason we bought the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were coming back from a 5K on the Seacoast. Remember that? Kim broke her feet or whatever. And so I still ran
that was on a cruise. She broke her foot.
And then we came back.
Yeah. From the cruise.
Oh, no. There was something. Maybe it was. Maybe she was still recovering and she was pissed because it was a half marathon. Yeah. So I did it.
That was in 2019?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were coming back from the Seacoast and it popped up like 2 days prior. And I remember that the listing photos were so bad. And I was like, what is that thing attached to the house? It's like 2 stories and it's like pretty big, but it looked like a 2-car garage. I'm like, there's got to be some story to this. Sure enough, the listing when we went through, it was terrible. The house it needed so much work, but the price was good. And I was like, I could blow out the ceiling and put in lifts. Mm-hmm. And she was like, this is a nice house, this is a nice area. So it ended up working out. But
I'm still mad that we haven't made the upstairs a bar.
Upstairs?
Looking over the garage.
So this year I want to do a mini split so that it stays cooler all the time in there. Because that was the big thing. Like when we hang out upstairs there, like
it's hot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it just heat rises.
Yeah, the only saving grace is you've got that slider up there and whatnot. So at least you can open that up. And
I mean, I've kind of like gone back and forth with what to do with that storage space. Right now there's like just a billion parts up there and I have shelving. But I do have like a toolbox with a TV on it that I've never turned on. And there was a futon up there, but now the garage out back seems like
there's a TV upstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the one downstairs, and I was like, we've definitely watched an F1 race in that garage before.
No. I mean, it could be set up awesome, but like I've just I'm still kind of getting the big garage out back like set up. So once that's set up and it's more like that's where I work, then the rest can be kind of like car washed.
Yeah, we moved a lot of the big stuff.
Yeah, but I also do love just being able to walk out and just be like, if I have side work to do, it's like, it's right there.
Yeah,
and I still have full capability. Like I've used that to fabricate stuff. I've used that to do full, like all service work that I mean, there's nothing besides alignments that I can't do in that garage and tires. I don't have a tire machine, but yeah, I don't know. It was cool. It was definitely a lot of work, but you as well. I mean, your garage looks awesome.
Thanks, man. I've been working on it.
It's a good, what size is that?
It is 26 by 30.
Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah,
not huge, but
I mean, it looks like a pretty usable space though. Like you definitely organized it well and
agonized over that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's,
and I
isn't
rearranged
that half
it like
the
10
battle
times,
though?
you know?
Yeah. Well, isn't that so? Like I've noticed, like the more shit you get to, and the more stuff you put in there, the more you start thinking, okay, how can I utilize the space even a little bit slightly better?
How do you get things off the floor? That's the question you're always asking yourself. Put it in the sky.
But not clutter everything so it looks like so cluttered in there. You know what I mean?
That's my garage.
Yeah.
It's a shit
Just
show.
hang everything.
I got 4 BMX bikes hanging in there right now.
Those bikes take up a lot of space, like annoying amount of space.
Yeah.
I just kicked all the bikes out. They were in my garage, and I was like, no, these are going back in the other
Oh, you have an attached garage that you can put.
Yeah, I have that. That's like my wife's garage.
Yep.
Her car's in there, and then all the toys,
lawn
and the
equipment
bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I got a shed for the lawn equipment. So I got it pretty dialed down.
That's
finally.
awesome.
But I had to work in it for like 3 years to like figure out where everything needed to be.
And you built that garage.
Not personally. I paid someone to build it.
Yes. But that was not there.
That was not there. We got there, and the garage on the house like 20 by 20, and there's a stairway in it too. So like you lose like a quarter of the space, and we were just like every time you moved in it, something fell. And then one day, like I remember, I got a brand new snowboard, and this was 2023, and I used it one time. I had it hanging, and I like had to pick a table up, like a folding table, and I hit the snowboard, fell down, and just smashed on the edge and broke it. And I'm like, I'm so over this.
That was $100,000 mistake.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like we had we had my wife's car, and then we had the Porsche in the garage, and then we had the most expensive car, which was like my car at the time, is always stuck outside. I'm like, this,
It's
we got to do
stupid.
something.
Yeah.
And we knew it was always a dream to build it, and the pandemic was good to me, like from a career standpoint. So I just was in a position. I'm like, you know what? Why wait? Let's freaking do it.
Yeah.
Got locked in at one of those crazy low, like 2,875 rates for the house. So,
I'm so sad to give that up. That's like the only thing that I'm like, I keep thinking about.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm going to lose that rate.
yep.
They're not too bad right now, right?
No, they're coming down.
Yeah,
Six, seven?
Very slowly.
6125.
What do the kids say?
6,
Yeah.
7.
6, 7.
Yeah.
They do say that too. It's crazy.
All the time
Goddamn
at
kids.
work. Yeah. Do you work with a lot of young kids?
At work, at my job?
Yeah.
Define young.
20s.
20s?
Early
20s.
20s.
Yeah. I hear a lot of "let me cook." I'm like, okay, we're selling like a $500,000 software contract to like a VP of engineering, and you're saying "let me cook." I don't think he wants to eat what you're cooking right now, but yeah, yeah. There's a crazy difference in our generation compared to one that's not that far from us.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, you know. So there's good energy. I work in so people know in like the tech industry, so we like sell software products, and it's just an interesting because you have people that are 50s to people that are in their 20s, all doing the same job sometimes.
Yeah.
and it's crazy.
I mean, it's kind of the same being a mechanic.
Oh yeah,
Right.
You get
Well,
20
how
to-
many young guys? What's the youngest guy you work with?
Well, we just lost the hourly guy. So the youngest is probably Lindsay. I think she just turned 30.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. So
That's
I work
so
with
we got an
three-
older shop.
What, two 21-year-olds, a 24-year-old.
So you
I
are
think.
6'7" all the time, you know.
Oh God, and the writers, dude.
Yeah.
They're always saying weird shit.
I met him
Like,
at
what'd you
Strange
say?
Brew like a couple months ago, and there's like 3 22-year-olds at the bar, and they're all hitting on the same girl.
Yeah.
dude. It was
It was
shame.
wild. No shame.
Yeah, so
No shame.
they love that place though. They all go there.
I like it.
all the
It's
time.
a cool place.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I
that
love it.
But you know what? I
you
had-
never wanted to go anywhere, so
So I
hadn't
wanted
been.
them all to go there, and I was like, "This is one of the best bars in Manchester, in my opinion. It's a divey, but they always have live music. Downstairs is I didn't know as the downstairs was as good, but it also is kind of weird.
Good?
So, dude,
I haven't
honestly,
been downstairs in like 20 years.
It's-
Wait. They redid it.
it's
no.
lively, dude. They have a pool table.
It's
They
the same.
have they have
It's the same.
cornhole. They have
I thought they zhuzhed it up a
beer
little
pong.
Did they?
I mean, it's still pretty.
Yeah.
bit. Basement.
It's sketchy,
Yeah.
but there's girls down there, so it's less sketchy.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean? Like,
It's less sketchy for you, not for the girls.
Yeah.
well, yeah, the whole place is sketchy. Well, I like upstairs because there's live
Yeah.
music, but I told these guys, I'm like, let's go there for like a work thing, whatever. So we went to Candy Road Brewery, and then we went there
There we go.
after.
Yeah.
And everybody was already fucking shit faced, but we had a good time there, and it was just like, they're like, we got to go downstairs, and I'm like, I'm not going downstairs. And then I went downstairs and I had a great time,
Yep.
and then I went again.
Yep.
But now that's like their spot; they go all the time. I think it's hilarious.
So it's funny because like when my company does events, they fly in like everybody from across the country. They all stay right downtown at, well, I still say it's the Radisson, but it's not. But what is it? The
Throwback.
double
Who
tree now?
cares?
Yeah, double
It's
tree
the
now, whatever
Radisson.
the hell it is. It's Rad. It's
Yeah.
Camp Ratty.
Yeah.
But every single night they're like, "Yo, we're going to Strange Brew. We're going to Strange Brew. Like, why don't you come?"
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, let me tell you about the heyday of Strange Brew. Let me tell you about $2 Tuesdays when every beer on the menu was $2
That was beautiful.
and every appetizer was half off on a Tuesday night. And then it turned into $2 and $3 and $4 tiered beers, and then it all just went to hell.
$5 well drinks.
Yeah, just like back in the day, JW Hills with your dollar domestics on
Oh,
a
man.
Friday night.
A lot of good times there too.
I mean,
Yep. What was the? Oh God, I can't think of the name. It was a Panucci's for a little bit.
Where?
the Brimmer.
The Brimmer.
Yeah.
Was it the Black Brimmer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Black
Black
Brimmer.
Brimmer.
That place was sick. That basement was crazy.
Dude, I went to a New Year's party.
The
I
floors
think.
were always sticky.
Yeah, it was like a frat, but like,
like
in a bar.
Strange Brewism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
like Stranger Brew upstairs, like folk music.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, but like for the
Sunday
most part,
nights they do blues.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for so long. Though.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
that's
like,
why
if
the
you're a
kids.
blues person.
That's why the kids go
The one thing,
downstairs.
the one thing you have to give props to Strange Brew for is like they have not changed
No.
their recipe. It is the exact same place from 15 years ago when I
That's
was
what's so
21
good about it, because we can jump back in there at any time and be like, oh, yeah.
You feel like you're at home still.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah, you know, like
Go get some popcorn.
you know where the stage is, where
Yeah.
they play. If you go up to the right, there's a pool table up there.
Yeah.
That's like it's such a weird little nook, but like
oh yeah,
it's kind of
like
cool to go up there and
back
chill.
corner over there where there's like a long table in the corner, which I'm pretty sure it's been probably 3 or 4 years since I've gone in there, but I'm pretty sure that table is still there. And that used to be like the Tuesday night table when we would get everyone together.
Shit.
That was always the table we sat at.
Yeah,
Good times.
funny.
Good times.
So
So back to your question. Anything that pissed you off this week?
If I give you a fucking deadline, it's a deadline. It's not a suggestion. It's not like, hey, could you maybe do this for me? It's a deadline. And don't make me find out at 3:30 on a Friday that it's not a deadline.
it wasn't a deadline for them.
It was a deadline for 8 a.m. Monday, and you know no one's doing shit before 8 o'clock on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
Was it somebody else that gave you a deadline, so you had a deadline
I
for
got
someone
a
else?
deadline that was clearly communicated to the downstream teams.
Uh-huh.
Everything was going fine. Actually, everything was going fine until about 2:30 this afternoon. And then, so it was long story short, client needed a car
Yeah.
for someone who's starting a position on Monday. So we had found, it was a Honda Ridgeline. We had found it like 3 or 4 months ago, but they had someone fall through that they had hired. So he reached back out. He's like, hey, I looked at the dealer website. Looks like they still have it. Can you guys call on it and grab it? Cool. Tuesday, he approved it. We got everything rolling. Got all the paperwork submitted. Overnighted plates and everything to him. Good to go. And then I find out this afternoon that's like, and I don't think he listens to the podcast.
Hopefully
I'm
not.
I'm not too worried. No, because it's all resolved now, which is good. But then I get a message at 2:30. Like I was like, hey, is everything good? Like, are we still on track for? He's like, yep, transporter's picking up the car tomorrow. It'll be there Monday morning. Perfect. Then at 3 o'clock, I get a message that's like, yeah, the dealer is not gonna release the car because we haven't submitted payment yet. And I'm like,
Was it a 21-year-old handling the...
no. So mind you, I said he needed the vehicle today because I knew someone was going to fuck up. So I gave myself the buffer until Monday. So then I have to go back and forth. I have to get a bunch of managers involved. We have to go to Treasury. We have to ask for an on-demand payment rather than the payment batch that's going out on Monday and whatnot. So we got it all resolved. Sent remittance to the dealership. He was like, yep, I'll release it to the transporter tomorrow, all that stuff. So we're good. But like,
You don't want to do that.
don't make me chase my tail at 3:30 on a Friday.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
No, trying to go home.
That sucks.
Exactly.
I mean,
You're
I was
supposed to be
home.
checked out. At
I
that
was
point.
home.
Yeah.
But like,
You're still on the clock.
yeah, it's like don't make me chase that stuff at 3:30 on a Friday. Nobody wants that. I gave you a deadline. It was clearly communicated.
Yeah.
Everybody agreed. So there's a couple slaps on the wrist for people not reading things, but
Yeah.
don't deadlines aren't suggestions.
Yeah, so I didn't really have that bad of a week, so I don't know. Like, it's more of like this, like, grinds my gears type of thing.
I had a great week
yeah.
until 3:30
Yeah, that's
today.
I think if I was gonna say one thing that like mildly annoyed me was I've been running no center caps on my car because Porsche, the front hubs, like if you're not running spacers, a lot of them don't fit on. So
Yes.
I finally figured that out. Got spacers and they didn't fit, so I had to order another pair. That's not the problem. But I ordered center caps. I wanted them in before the show last weekend when I saw you guys in Concord, and
Yep.
for some reason I got them from Fixie. They were like a stupid amount of money. They're like $75 a piece, which is I think crazy for center caps. But they flew from Ontario to Toronto to like Chicago, back up to somewhere in Canada, and then back to British Columbia. So they've done a circle around the Northeast, and I'm just like, come on! I just want to get my car done.
What was the ship?
Was it
It
FedEx?
was UPS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're usually on point.
Usually
you know?
UPS is on point. FedEx.
So
no.
like they've been getting a tour of North America, and I'm just sitting here with my car in the lift, like, come on! I still got to finish it, but it would drive. But I'm not putting it all back together.
I don't know I don't know about that life.
Yeah.
What?
Car parts.
Running cars.
Yeah, running cars.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
I mean,
yeah.
my car runs, doesn't drive. I got to rebuild two more brake calipers, and the most annoying part is like I was planning on getting it done by the end of this week, but like I just did not feel like going outside and doing it after work because I got to go out after the kids are in bed and after my wife's in bed, so that's like 8:30, And like a lot of times when 8:30 runs around, like comes around, I'm just like, no, I'll watch a YouTube and go to bed.
Yeah, that's how I am after hour-long bedtimes. I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to melt on the couch.
Watch a little Vintra or something like that. But
I'm over here watching Everyone Loves Raymond.
yeah, oh,
there's nothing wrong. When I came over last week, I was like, damn, I was watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
I was watching it. I'm into the 4th season right now. I hit it last night, but it's like after work, I'll watch it for a little bit, and then she'll come home, watch a little bit. I'll watch it before bed. I go through these like binges where it was like Friends, then it was Big Bang, and
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld might be next.
Curb.
No, that's something
I
I've never
haven't
watched.
watched Curb. I need to watch it.
I watched it when it was new, like the first few seasons. I got to go catch up on the rest of them. It's funny, man.
Yeah, it's something I've never gotten into.
I guess just gets wilder as it goes on because they have to think of new scenarios that he finds himself in. But they always seem to think of them.
They do. It's pretty funny.
News. Do you have anything?
Formula One.
So
that's more of Mike's thing. I can gloss over this.
Whatever.
Because I just looked it up, but it looks like Mercedes is obviously the qualifying. The way that they've been running qualifying, they've been basically going full battery power and then shutting it down, essentially, and then coasting after they qualify. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike.
Are you saying for a whole lap?
I remember seeing something.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't. I've got a different bit of news though, so I'm gonna let you run with this.
All right. So basically, Mercedes, the way that they've just been, the FIA is catching up to the new regulations because basically the electric power is now 70% more than it was last year. So they're kind of having to go back and figure out the advantages.
And it's like dangerous. You saw that crash.
Yes.
So they got to figure it out.
So there's advantages and disadvantages, and they're not going to change any regulations per se. From what I was reading, they're basically going to have to tweak some and iron it out. But
yeah, I think they were gonna adjust like battery deployment and stuff like that. Because to your point, AJ, after the Ollie Behrman crash, where he like literally closed in on a vehicle that ran out of battery power. I think it was Colapinto.
Yeah, but
like literally ran up to the back of him, probably 70 or 80 miles an hour faster than he was going, and he had to make a knee-jerk reaction. It had I think it was a 60G crash.
Yeah, he was like going 170 or 180. It's crazy.
So they're obviously considering all types of options for that, but there have been some actual changes. So one of the other things that Mercedes did was very smart. They used a material in the connecting rods and pistons, and as they warm up, the compression ratio changes.
The adjustable compression
from
ratio,
like 16-1 to 18-1.
That's wild.
Because they were only testing compression on cold engines. So the FIA has stated that they will now be testing cold and I think that's going to go into effect in June.
It's funny how they can like dissect the rules. It was like back when Ferrari was doing they only read they read it from like a pulse, the fuel mapping. So they were like making the fuel, like mapping it so it would like pump a lot of little, and then they'd only measure the baseline so they could get more fuel in the engine, but trick the FIA into thinking they were delivering less fuel.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago too when Mercedes had the DAS where they could pull the steering wheel in and out to adjust the toe to like warm up the tires and stuff like that.
That was so cool.
Quality laps.
Wow. It was the same thing with the rear spoiler flexing, right?
Oh yeah,
they all had the flexi wing issues and stuff like that. And
they got the party wing now over at Ferrari or whatever they're calling it.
I mean, think about how it was back in the day for any form of racing. You know, I mean, they're trying to find loopholes.
Yeah, you bend the rules to win.
You know, but at this level of competition, they want to try to keep things as even as possible because the engines are different, and it's not like they're just bracket racing where they're
Well, the biggest complaint that everybody has with F1 is that it's not a series about the driver. It's more of a series about the car. Because if you have the best car and the best tech, which is hence why Mercedes was so dominant for so long, because they literally had borderline an unlimited budget for the cars. Whereas, when you look at series like IndyCar, where it's more of a spec series, it's more of the car setup and the driver that's differentiating what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah.
Versus F1
Yeah,
is
I
that
think, like,
there's no way Cadillac and Audi, being newer. Not so much Audi, but more
I
Cadillac.
love the new Audi team, by the way. That's one of my favorites. But I think like the F1 pulled in a lot of new people over the last few years, and I've heard a lot of pushback about the new rules. They don't like how much the rules affects the race, and it's hard for people to understand, especially the newer folks. But I don't
it's
know.
because you have this hybrid technology, and Mercedes is clearly just
Mastered it.
figured it out.
Yeah,
they manipulated it to their favor, and now they're trying to go back and figure out, okay, well, how do we make this? They're smart as hell.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
they're
the only
have good
cool thing
drivers,
about
too.
it is that it's year one.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like whoever didn't figure out this year, you're probably gonna have another 2 or 3 teams next year that figure it out,
Exactly.
and then just like it was last year. Williams kind of coming out of nowhere, popping up with like 3 podiums
Yeah,
or
that
something
was
like
crazy.
that. Whereas 3 years or 4 years prior to that, they couldn't even score a point in the regular season.
Yep.
I will
Tied
say
for
though
last.
this about the new cars: the shorter wheelbase and different wheel
Way
sizes.
better.
They look so good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way better.
The proportions are way better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so the qualifying thing was basically if you come to the end of your battery life, the FIA put a rule in that essentially would stage it down. So it wouldn't. It's like kind
It
of like
won't just
you know
kill
how
it completely.
lithium batteries, like your phone just will be like fine, and then all of a sudden it's dead.
Yeah.
They made it so that it would slow down incrementally. Well, except if there's a like some sort of mechanical failure. So Mercedes like basically programmed in a mechanical failure switch. So they'd run qualifying as fast as they fucking could, and then right before the lap they would just shut it. They'd hit that mechanical failure switch so they could use all of the battery life. Kind of a little bit cheating, but not really. I mean, honestly, it's like they
Next year
figured
it'll be cheating.
But now they're actually making it a lot, or they're making a rule so that cannot happen.
All right.
Yeah, the only 2 bits I have is number one, nothing warmed my soul more than to see Lance Stroll run a GT3 race and finish 48th out of 49 cars with 450 seconds in penalties.
Jesus.
Nothing warmed my soul more.
Where was that? I didn't watch.
I don't remember where it was.
That
but
wasn't
it was
the one that
it was his first.
Verstappen ran, did it? No.
I don't think so. But it was his first GT3 race, and he like came out after, and he was like, "Oh, it was so much fun! I can't wait to do it again." And I'm like, "Listen, buddy, it's just because Daddy owns the company is why you're racing."
I gotta lodge a complaint to my dad because like he never got me a Formula One team or a GT racing team.
Right?
Same.
What the
Damn
hell?
it, Dad! Why didn't you have millions to get me
You have
into
to
karting? And
Sit him down and have a serious talk. He did get you into cars, though, didn't he?
No,
Bikes?
I have a fun cars. Yeah, kind of bikes. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely bikes. But
Yeah.
my path to cars was a weird one. It was a solo mission.
What you want to get right into it?
You want to
Yeah.
do that?
What-
I mean,
Why don't
well,
we?
Dan's like pointing over, like,
No, I mean,
can't-
this is gonna
I didn't
be
know
a
if we
good
wanted- I didn't know if
transition.
we wanted to go into
Oh,
something.
dude,
you know what I mean?
dude, we're running great right now.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We didn't even get into Andy last week until like an hour and 15
Yeah.
minutes, and we're only at 33. This is perfect.
Very efficient.
Let's sandbag.
So do you
it.
want?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted. I didn't know if you want to talk about the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, yeah.
know what I
So
mean?
Al sent me this thing today, and
So
it was Wall Street Journal.
I'll give
which
Boo
is-
Boo. Will
Oh, really?
sent it, and he's like, "Hey, I want to see what you and Dan think about this."
I loved it. I listened to it on the way into work and then on the way home, and because it was only like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was short.
What
It
is
was
it?
short. It's basically I just want to see what it's called because I already forgot. But it was the reason why mechanics, people coming into the trade, the reason why they don't want to make 120K a year. So
Well,
it
the
was-
reason they're not. There's a reason there's a tech shortage. Basically, the CEO of Ford said
Oh, I think I saw.
we have all these positions. We have what was that, 100,000 or a million,
yeah, it's something
a
crazy.
million available positions to make $120,000.
It said why people aren't lining up for
Farley?
this 120K job.
Yes.
What's his first name? That's Chris Farley's cousin. You know,
I wanted to say it was Chris Farley,
it's
but
like
it's not. Obviously, it's,
John or something.
It might be John.
I don't know. I read a book about the former CEO that turned around the Ford Motor Company. His name was it Alan Mulally or something like that. He was a Boeing CEO. He came over and just like dissected the nepotism in Ford, because like no one was actually doing any work. They were just like, we're just going to do the same thing we did forever. And it was just like the company was failing. And this guy came in to the automotive industry, which is crazy. And as a former CEO of Boeing, like aircraft, no one took him seriously. And he had to like arrange all these troops. Like everyone in the room's a Ford except for him. And he's the one who kind of in the early 2000s turned the company around and actually like delivered shareholder value for the first time in like decades. It was it's called The American Icon. It's actually a super interesting book if you're like into business and cars. So I'd recommend you check it out. But he's in the book, Farley, because he talked about how we hired him and things like that. And
did you see the statement that he had made?
Yeah.
Basically saying like we have all these jobs. It was on a podcast, I think. And he got a bunch of backlash for it because people were like, good luck trying to be a mechanic, like, and make 120 grand even after we said the other day on Porsche's site, it was like after 3 or 4 years you could make what, $40,000 to $60,000 as a tech.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, who wouldn't love that after 4 years, you know? But yeah, basically, you know, what I was reading in that podcast, basically the Wall Street Journal goes into, like, they interview a couple techs. One guy who's at the higher end of the salary, but that has been doing it for 20 years,
making $46 an hour.
Yeah, it was 40.
The top tier master tech you could be at Ford.
And he was, you know, he was clearing like whatever 160,000.
Yeah, he said his best year was 160.
It was Jim Farley, not
Jim Farley. Yeah, Jim Farley. Yeah,
fucking Jimmy.
Yeah.
And so basically they just interview one of these other techs who was like, oh, I really like cars. I just want to be a mechanic. And he said his highest salary was $89,000 a year because of flat rate and the way that things like operate and manufacturers pushing back. So my response to Jim Farley is that the manufacturers are responsible. And I will say that to anybody who asks me. I believe that they set the precedent for this industry. I think that dealerships are their own entity, right? And they abide by laws that are in place by the manufacturer. They have to do certain things.
They have to meet certain requirements.
And my biggest gripe is this. If you have showroom requirements for sales, why the fuck don't you have shop requirements for your techs? There might be some in place for like basic tools and stuff like that, but how many shops do you walk in, even at dealerships, 100 degrees in the summer, no air conditioning?
BMW requires AC.
Yep. And now, good luck doing cell replacements on an EV in a fucking EV suit when it's 110 degrees outside.
Sounds awful.
I can tell you why.
So, because manufacturers don't give a shit.
Exactly,
They're like, hey,
they want to push the new metal, and that's all they care about. Because you have to think about it when it comes to repairing vehicles. Yeah, they might get some off the parts, but they're not always getting off the parts, because if it's used vehicles, you're calling your local, you know, whatever, Napa or whatever it may be, because dealerships want to maximize their profits, so they're going to use cheap shit parts in the vehicles because they don't care.
Yep.
And
dealerships
labor rates
generally use aftermarket parts. Most of the dealerships that I've dealt with or worked with.
Well, you guys don't usually deal with used vehicles.
Okay, so yes, that's different. I can
tell you,
like off-brand.
Off-brand stuff. So like I will say, for at least when I worked at the dealership, we were generally very good. Anything VW was OEM parts.
Yeah.
Tires were never like your run-of-the-mill like
Federals?
Milestars. Federals
or anything.
Like, there was none of that stuff. It was like, if you got a VW on the lot, it always got, you know, Continentals or like whatever the OEM replacement tire was. That's usually what went on. But I've also worked at dealerships where it didn't matter if it was the brand of the dealership or it was an off-brand. Every car was getting cheap shit Milestar tires. Every car was getting
Duralast brakes.
Duralast brakes. Like, it didn't matter.
They smell like fish.
Yeah, because it
maximized
profits.
Manufacturer doesn't really have a stake in the game.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is that even repairing a newer vehicle that may or may not be under warranty, that labor rate, that's profit for the dealership. the manufacturer doesn't see the profit off your labor
But
rate.
think about this, Mike. Like, if you think back to, and this goes back to what I said about the way that manufacturers kind of set the precedent, because most of the independent shops in the area will probably kind of try to be somewhere around the same labor rate as to what the dealership's charging. They have a requirement for sales. Showrooms have to be a specific layout. They have to be doing certain things. I mean, there are franchises that probably push the limits a little bit, but when it comes to sales, manufacturers are like, this needs to be done or you're going to lose your franchise.
Absolutely.
When it comes to service, it's like they've never been like, hey, we're going to advocate for the techs.
Yeah. But no,
And
but
that looks bad on manufacturers, and it looks bad on Jim Farley, because he's saying, oh, why don't we have any techs? Well, what did you do to help facilitate techs and create a good career for these young kids getting into it? You've made it harder. You've pushed back, and that's basically what the Wall Street Journal said.
Yeah.
They said they basically have people whose jobs are to literally audit dealerships to cut times for labor.
Yeah. But no,
It's
but to my
fucked
point,
up.
I agree with what I'm saying is that I agreed with you, because the issue is that when you look at labor rates and things like that, the manufacturer doesn't give a shit about what the conditions are in the shop, because they're not seeing that cut of the profit.
Yes.
Unlike new car sales, because you're getting the profit from not only the vehicle actually leaving the lot, but the financing, the warranties, the add-on part. So that, for the manufacturer, the new metal itself is the profit center, whereas for a dealership, the profit center is the actual service department.
Right.
Therefore, that's why it is on the dealership, but most dealership owners are cheap. I mean, I don't want to generalize, but are cheap assholes.
It's true.
And they don't care about they care about how much money you make.
But they could have, but manufacturers all could have dictated.
They should.
Certain conditions for their technicians, and Volkswagen, I'll give it to them, they do have a technician retention, like basically a bonus. So if you've been with a dealership for like a year, 2, 3, you get like a few thousand
from Volkswagen.
Not from and then after like 4 years, it goes back to like, I think it's like a couple grand a year. So it's like at one point they give you $5,000. I think it's the third year, which is nice. But it's just that I feel like that's kind of like, oh, we're just playing damage control here a little bit. But I really do think that if manufacturers had said to dealerships, like, you have your showroom requirements, but we need the service requirements as well. And also, I think that they should be working closer with dealers. Like, they should have employees to make sure, because think about how many times you'd sell a car, and I'm sure you've worked at 2 dealerships, 3?
Does Mini count?
No, I wouldn't count that. That was
sales,
short-lived.
Sales. How many times when you sell a car does the customer's perception of whether the car is good or not come to fruition in the first 30,000 miles? Like, if they get handled poorly,
dude, it doesn't even come to fruition in the first 30,000 miles. It comes to fruition directly from delivery.
Right. If you get bad prep,
there's nothing more embarrassing than delivering a vehicle that still had the suspension blocks in the front. There's nothing more embarrassing than receiving a vehicle that has 55 psi in the tires because the tech was too lazy to actually set the tire pressures. Getting a vehicle that's low on oil.
Get all the lights off the dash.
Exactly. You want to know how many times? I mean, I shouldn't say how many times for me, because fortunately, when I was at the dealership, we had a great back of the house in terms of techs for the most part. But I mean,
Acito.
Ace was awesome.
Yeah.
Ace always took care of me. I mean, he put suspension on God knows how many of my cars. But no, Ace
sounds like a good guy.
Ace was awesome. I'll shout out to a couple of the guys that were in the back of the shop at Seacoast. Taylor was awesome before he left. Shane was awesome. Ace was awesome. All great dudes, pretty much, that were in the back of the shop there. But realistically, I mean, it's like it starts at the onset at delivery, and how many cars I've been delivered cars recently that have had scratches or damage on them, or
Right.
like, you know, even simple stuff like washing.
Yep.
If you're gonna wash the car, don't skip the roof.
Yep.
You're gonna notice it.
You know what I can't stand? For whatever
Stickers
reason.
on the wheels.
No. Stickers on the fucking wheels.
I
It's
washed
annoying.
one time.
Because the residue stays.
Yeah.
Yep,
One
forever.
time Al and Lara came over and I got so pissed off by how dirty Lara's house was that I was like, I am going to wash it for you when you guys come over. And literally all of the stickers
Yep.
were, there were 2 wheels that the stickers were still on the wheels. And then the other 2 still had all the glue spots on them and stuff like that. And even at that,
What does that go back to, though? That goes back to the manufacturer
Oh, well, yeah.
requires certain things from a pre-delivery inspection, right? But they're allowed. So I don't want to name any names, but there are dealerships that don't even have certified techs doing the preps.
Yeah.
And-
Which I find ridiculous.
And I will be the first one to tell you that it is very obvious.
Yeah, and you know what though? This is it all goes and it looks poorly on the customer, you know? And if you don't have well-trained techs when their car comes in for service, it just gets bobbled. So what manufacturers like Jim Farley should do is put more care into making sure that the techs actually feel like they're cared about. And you know what, dude? I hope it crashes and burns for them, honestly. Because that's what needs to happen to make a change in the industry. Because I know a lot of friends, obviously, that are mechanics, and it's a shame. It's like people get into the industry, they give a shit, they want to fix cars, they want to do the right thing, and it's just the people who are saying, "Oh, there's a problem. You know, we have all these jobs." They're in direct control of the problem. Don't cry about a problem that you created.
So
pal.
wait, Dan, are you saying the CEOs of the world
Not
don't
all
give a
of
shit
them.
about their employees and don't pay enough? I mean, what?
No,
that's
but
crazy.
it's just so funny that it directly affects how their brand and their vehicles look, and it's like the most important.
No, but
part.
To your point too, like feeder programs and stuff like that, right? Like for technicians, you have people that, like, you know, you got Jim Bob and Papa that grew up being a GM family or a Ford family. You know, when Cletus grows up, he wants to be a Ford technician.
Yep.
Why does Ford not have a feeder program that, if your life's work is rebuilding a 6.4 diesel or something like that, you can jump in all seriousness? Obviously, I was being unserious there for a minute. But like, if you grew up within a brand or you have a passion for a brand, it does not make sense that a manufacturer would not have a feeder program to bring in someone who loves said brand or wants to work for said brand, fix said brand.
Yeah, well,
to move into
they
that.
did a little bit. They did a little bit.
Did any of you guys go to MST? Were you involved in that?
I didn't. I went to UTI. So
Well, that was in high school. It was like a high school thing.
yeah.
So like,
they did have some manufacturers, right?
no, like not really. I don't know how they funded this program, but like you would think more manufacturers would supply like vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like, so in high school, I went to West, and
Same.
any of the Manchester schools could participate, and you'd sign up for this thing called MST, Manchester School of Technology, and they had a bunch of programs. One of them was automotive technology. So you would go to like your first class, and they'd bus you over there, and you'd be able to go work on cars. It was a full shop. That's where I learned how to do.
Yeah, you spent full 3 periods.
Yeah,
there.
3 periods there. That's where I met Dan Walker. We were at mortal enemies actually at that point. It's a fun story. Maybe for another time. But now we're cool. I love Dan.
I'm gonna have to clip that.
Yeah. No, you can do it. He'll remember it.
No, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But we were going there. I had a great instructor. Actually, I bought my first GTI from the teacher. So that was how I got into Volkswagens. But no, we learned how to do brakes, oil changes, and like the test at the end was we had to take apart an engine. Mine was a V6 out of a Ford Taurus. Take apart an engine, measure all the tolerances, and put it back together. We didn't know if it ran. It probably
Was that
would've
where
ran, to be
Andy
honest.
went? I think Andy went to MST.
Probably. Like
He was the
Yeah.
last guy we talked to.
So I wanted to be a.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He went to the front street.
NHTI?
He went,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So
sorry.
yeah, this
'Cause this
program
is
was
high
high
school.
school. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep.
So like I wanted to be a tech, but you know I was playing football. I had like 2 things. My life was like football and cars. Cars were always like a little bit more, but my family, like any of you guys know, I'm like a lot of football players. My grandfather played for the Patriots. My dad played for the Chiefs. So like that was a
Damn.
big part of my life.
I just heard about this like
Yeah.
recently.
I
from
did not
somebody.
know
I
that.
don't-
Yeah.
Learning about that now.
So like, but they never pressured me. They're like, do what you want, just like make sure you get your education. So I went to school. I started at UNH, and like my I was playing football. I was like, oh, I can't go to school to be a tech, so I'll be a mechanical engineer. My mind does not work like that. So I like after a semester, 1.2 GPA, I was like, I got to reevaluate stuff. Like, I don't know, it's football or school, something's got to give. So I changed majors, ended up stopped playing football because I was so annoyed. I never had time to work on cars. All I wanted to do was like go home, work so I can buy car parts. And so I quit football like my sophomore year. They weren't giving me any money. I asked one more time. I'm like, hey, I'm second string like everyone else around me. I have scholarships. Can I get a scholarship? My coach said, your parents are doing fine. So I was like, all right.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's
So I said, all right, stuck with the student loans regardless. So I was like, I'll do that. And then I almost dropped out and went to UTI. I had gotten accepted and everything. My parents like, you're like halfway done, just like finish it and see what happens. So finished school. But I worked at JFJ for a little while. I worked in a bunch of dealerships, and I just love work. I could see myself working on cars. I love it. Like, you get a fresh batch of new parts and a car that's broken, and you just fix that and get paid for it. I think that's like the coolest thing. But New England's hard.
New
It's
England?
all it's all fun and games until you get that one rusty bolt.
Well, you know, I mean, when you have 20, 10, 15
Yeah.
years into it, like
You figure
the
it
Wall
out.
Street Journal basically said, you know, when you have the experience and you've got the diagnostic knowledge and you figure it out, it's like things get easier and you start making money. But when you first
Just crack the beer, AJ. Just crack
it is what it is.
when you first get into it, you know, it's really hard to like feel motivated to
Yeah.
like want to continue with it. And that's why a lot of guys get into it and then they jump out because the industry isn't like, it's not supporting
Yeah.
the younger techs to
and
like,
the longevity, really.
yeah, I mean, honestly, that's the biggest thing, and that's why I said I hope it crashes and burns because they're the ones that could do something about it a long time ago and just never really did.
Inevitably, it's probably going to happen. Because, I mean, think about it, right? So everything with manufacturers now, right? You have to have proprietary software to
it's so annoying.
do certain... So it's like, you know, that whole kind of right to repair sort of,
yeah.
you know...
Yeah, like the
it's-
new Porsches are like they're like locked,
Dude, I have
to even reset a service.
Yeah, you got to
like,
get the special
Yep.
computer. But
Yeah.
like, I have a RAM. Like, you think, oh, you should be able to work on a RAM. I put like bed lights in my truck, and I had to go to the dealership to get them coded in. I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I spent 3 hours running, running wires from the back of my bed all the way under the dash, and now I still got to go to the dealership for them to turn the lights on.
But we may have talked about this a few episodes ago, but like the SFDC lock that VW now has on all their ECUs. Like, you can't even go in like back in the day with VAGCOM and do, you know, delete your DRLs and, you know, so you could use your Euro switch.
Oh, you
And
can't. You can't do that.
No, code in your Euro tails, all that stuff, because everybody was using, well, now recently, besides VAGCOM, everyone's using OBD11.
Yeah.
But it doesn't support anything beyond it. Limited functionality, I think, on 24s, and really doesn't support anything 25 and 26 because the ECU is locked. So even now, to like tune your ECU, you need to go somewhere to have your ECU unlocked.
This is my car. Why are we
And
talking about
then
this right now?
actually it's insane.
So,
It's
I like the
insane.
Mark
so the
III
big
days.
thing in Porsche and Volkswagen world and Audi, the way they're basically justifying this against the right to repair because that is a real law, right?
Yeah.
Where shops should have the ability, but shops can buy Otis, and you can buy the scan tools like Mercedes is massively expensive, but the way that they basically justify it is because of theft, because people know how to basically infiltrate the CAN bus, and if they don't have these things in place, they could easily basically steal your car. With sometimes people are good enough with the electric stuff,
But
where they could basically get into your car and
Kia
like have
boys.
it
Well, yeah,
drive
but-
somewhere.
The Kia boys.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is that doesn't even help because you look at the thing. I forget what it's called. They use a repeater to get your key signal.
Yeah.
and unlock the car and start it. You can buy one of the.
Yeah.
I fell down a rabbit hole and I was like watching some YouTube stories, kind of talking about this stuff.
Trying to steal some
But
cars,
it's-
Mike?
No, absolutely not.
Al can help.
Ew.
That's a story for a different day. But literally, like, these people show up to like your front door with fucking antennas.
What?
And they steal the signal from your
range
key.
extenders. Yeah. So what they'll do is if they they'll go up to the side of the house and try to get the signal from the key, like on the other side of the wall. And then they'll be next to the car and it'll unlock the car
And
they hop
start
in,
the car and drive.
and then they can leave.
Oh, shit. I remember when you used to have to get laser cut transponder keys from Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like,
Anybody know the reference?
Gone in 60 seconds.
but they do all this stuff to
That's a
aid
once a
in
year
potential
movie.
stopping theft.
I'm just like, if they're
But it
trying that
doesn't-
hard, just like take the
Take
car,
it,
you know?
take it.
I'll just get a new one.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I missed the Mark III days when you're like, oh, I want Euro lights, and you just like switch the switch,
Yeah.
the Euro switch, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
cool,
you
now
can't do
they're
that.
working.
No, now they come with. You've got that middle function now that works on your switch, but it's not a.
I don't know anything about new cars.
I mean, that
guys.
stuff sucks. Like, it does suck to deal with. Like, component protection. Like, I tried to throw a VACOM on like a 26 the other day, and I was like, it was having an issue communicating, and I'm like, is this? I haven't tried. I think that there's a new protocol that. Now, it might have just been something with my VACOM cable because I have scanned cars since then, but I'm like, normally
Man,
we
bring
just
back
use
the
those.
old days. I remember searching Vortex to try to figure. I remember when I got my Eurotails for my Mark V. I remember searching Vortex, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, it's this series of 58 numbers, and you have to change this field and this field."
It
and
was
this
like
field.
a cheat code on N64.
Exactly.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was like I was playing Grand Theft. It was like I was playing
long
Vice
coding
City.
helper,
Trying to
basically, you can go in.
Yeah, so I got my amber tails working, or my amber blinkers working on my Eurotails and all that stuff. And
So this is why they call mechanics now techs, because you're on the computer for half the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're not turning wrenches anymore.
He has seven scan tools for. We were down to 2 and 2, and I was like, "This is crazy."
That's why you're asking about that.
We've been having so much hardware issues at work, and like,
I was listening to the last one about that. It's crazy.
I
Yeah.
drive new cars, but I'll be the first one to say new cars suck.
I want cars
that
that
sense.
have fuel injection, and then that's pretty much my bar.
Isn't your
Like
truck?
an
Isn't your
85
truck like a
944?
2023 or 2024?
22, yeah. Well, that's a daily, you know. It's diesel, you know. It's at least
Have
it doesn't
you
have spark
on your
plugs.
944? Do you have the factory DME on that or?
Yeah. Well, no, I upgraded to like that Focus 9, like relay.
do?
At least it did.
Oh, okay.
Not the
but
actual
not the actual
DME.
computer. You know
Yeah.
they sell like
Yeah.
replacement
I've
computers.
seen
which is
that.
really cool.
So wait, I feel like this is a natural progression now.
yeah.
Yeah. Now
Yeah,
we
this is-
now we can
you
move.
mentioned the 944, so this is a natural progression now.
All right.
AJ, who are you?
Yeah. My name's Jeff. Oh, no.
My name's Jeff.
So yeah, my name's AJ. I've known most of you guys for a long ass time. MK5, 337,
Yeah.
and then you got the Mark IV.
He's-
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
He's
how
the
I
only
see
one that
you all.
still has it.
Remember 2010? I think it was 2010. H2O. It was like me, you, Kyle, Krish.
Carl.
Yes, that was so fun.
That was a great time.
Me and
Yeah.
Aaron were just talking about that last week. Yes, I was looking through photo. I actually have maybe an hour of GoPro footage that I think I might just like edit together into like a to like a staticky like old school video.
Put
but
some
yeah,
Rise
so
Against
fun.
on there.
Yeah, yeah. But what a fun time. But yeah, I'm AJ. I have right now I have a 944, but I came up through like VRs. That was my thing for a while.
Yeah.
The
Had like
black
3 or
joint.
4
Yep. Mark
VRs.
III VR.
My first car was actually a Chevy Blazer. Fun fact. 2-door ZR2 96. I actually fixed it. Like I was working at a body shop. Probably my favorite job of all time. I would go to high school, and then I worked at West, and I walked down the street to Miller's Auto Body right on South Main Street. So I'd walk down the street every day after school. I'd go to school. I'd be so pumped. Go down there, and one of the first projects he had me work on, because like I didn't know shit about anything. He's like, oh, go fix this truck. It was all the bottom of the doors were rusted. So like we cut it all out. He welded it, but I did all the body work. And by the time I was 16. I was like, can I buy this? He's like, yeah, sure. $2,000. Bought the truck. Drove it around for a while. And for a while, I mean like a week. And then we took it to my cousin's house to watch like the Super Bowl. And then we were driving back. It was snowing. My dad's like, no, we're not. You're not driving. Like, you're too new. I'll drive. And someone T-boned us. And like, we probably would have died if I was driving. Like, it was like one of the mountain roads on the way out to Jaffrey. Some guy came around a corner completely sideways, like crashed it, fixed it again. Fixed it. The same stuff I had just fixed it again. Got it back. And then, the engine like blew up like a week later. So it still had 20-day plates for that whole period of time I owned it.
Wow.
So I got a GTI, too slow. Always wanted a VR, and then finally I got that black joint. I bought it from one of the techs at Volkswagen at the time.
Manchester Volkswagen.
Yeah, Manchester Volkswagen. I worked there for a long time.
What year was it?
97. It was black, lowered, Euro front bumper, like the E codes.
Wait, was it McDevitt at the time though?
No, it was Manchester Volkswagen.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going back to like the early 90s.
97. When I worked there,
What
this
year
was
was
like
that?
around
Sorry.
2009 maybe ish. Yeah.
So I was gonna say, I still have a picture that pops up on Facebook as like reminders.
Yeah.
Is when we were going to dust off one year and we were on 495 and we pulled off
my
and
God.
you broke your oil pan.
Okay, let me tell you.
It's just
Everybody.
that gorgeous VR
Yeah.
because it had the Monte Carlos on it, right?
No, I had just finished the RX2s at that
Oh,
point.
okay.
So let me tell you about that. Like I spent so
I think I have a picture of you on the side of the
yeah,
highway.
you guys were all with me. So I was the months leading up to that. That was like right after I stopped playing football at UNH. It was like I had got a single room. I was by myself in Congreve at UNH, so I had this single, and I was working at Lowe's like every minute I could to get money to work on this car. And I was lugging wheels in a duffel bag between my house down here in Bedford and school and polishing these wheels by hand every spare second I had. So I was working all winter.
Doing it in the bathtub.
No, just like in the middle of my dorm room, like on a bunch of papers. And like I got them done. I had to refinish them all. I got them like for $150. They were completely torched, like so bad. And like broke so many bolts. I ended up having to buy like 3 or 4 more sets of wheels to finish it. And I had to do all this stuff. I did like suspension, wheels, a bunch of other random like things to make it look good just for dust off. I was so pumped. Spent like 2 months right down to the wire. Like I was looking at Facebook memories like this week because it's like right around dust off time, and it was the night before dust off, and I was like, can anyone mount tires? I need someone to mount tires. Like just to get it right. Got it ready, went there, broke the oil pan on the way down. It was like so frustrating. Had the ride in Brandon's GLI for the rest of the day, but yeah, it was a fun time. But yeah, then after that one ended up blowing up too. A couple summers later, I got the green. I got a red joint. Junk. That thing was
GTI?
awful. No, it was a red
Jetta?
GLX.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And it was just awful. Like I got it. Guy was like, "Oh, the timing belts have been done. This car is perfect. The paint's just faded. Buffed it. Looked, the Tornado or that red
Yeah.
on the Mark III's. It looked really nice, but it just like had all this chain noise. Had to redo the chains again and ended up doing like all the bushings and stuff. It was an okay car, but it was pretty rotted. So I sold that one. Then I got the green joint, and that's when Michael came into my life. So let me tell you a fun fact about Mike Palumbo and how my life would actually be completely different if it wasn't for meeting him. So I had the green joint. He knew he got to UNH. Like, what were you, was that your freshman year?
Yeah, 09 going into
So he's
010.
like, let's hang out. He wanted to hang out with the cool upperclassman, which was me at the time. So he knew I was there. He knew I was in the cars. It was like you and Daigle. I don't know. Were you both fresh out of relationships? I don't even know. I remember Daigle just being sad all the time.
Yeah, that was just yeah, it was weird time.
Yeah,
in my
weird
life,
time. Me too. That was like the year that was a good year for me to figure out who the hell I was and stop pretending to be. But that's a whole nother story. But anyways, so I meet him. He's hanging out with me at UNH just because of cars, Like I was like I separated from like the football crew. I was like, all right, let me start hanging out with my car friends. My roommate was a car dude, Mike Healy.
Yep.
And so you and Daigle started hanging out with us, and all of a sudden, Daigle's like, "Oh, someone I know from my high school lives in this building," and she's cute. I was like, "Okay." So that was Kelsey. So if it wasn't for you coming to the apartment, bringing Daigle, I wouldn't have met my wife, which is wild.
No shit.
I still remember the first night because I remember there was a couple parties at 310.
315.
315. Yep. Yeah, top floor River's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
AJ has never owned so many cars in his life because we all didn't want to pay for parking on campus, so we all parked at River's Edge and just left our
like
keys with AJ.
It was awesome. Yeah.
But
oh my god.
But yeah, because I remember because we would have the parties in your apartment and Becky would always come up.
Yep.
And I don't think Kelsey had ever come up at that point. And then Daigle ended up talking. Kelsey ended up... And I still remember the first night.
Yep.
Because we were playing Root in your living room.
Yeah.
And you and Kelsey were on a team. And you guys, like, hit it off instantly.
It was wild. Yeah. So that was the first time that my life was changed because of cars. Because I don't know if we lived in a building for a year. I met like 3 people there. I had like a couple of friends I knew there, but who knows if we ever would have talked. So that was a cool story about how how my life changed because of cars. And then the second was Aaron. I met him right after I met Kelsey, and I like perfect. Like we both work in the tech industry now, but at the time he was working at TD Bank. No, he worked at TD Bank, then he worked at Fidelity, and he was driving back and forth. He graduated right when we met, so he was driving back and forth from the Edge. But we became really good friends, and he was. And after I graduated, I got into technology. Like I worked at a company in the city called Dine. Brought him in there, got him out of finance, and then he got a job at the place I work at now, Launch Darkly, which completely changed the trajectory of my career. I met this dude in a parking lot at a Grimwater meet.
Yeah. Well, so I was going to ask you, because I don't even remember, because obviously we were hanging out, and I remember...
Where did he come from?
I remember meeting Aaron through you, but I didn't know where you had...
So... it's funny. I was listening to that James Pumphrey's podcast. He was on a podcast last week, and he said it was like when he met his cameraman. He was like, it was really bus stop friendship, and that's exactly how I would characterize me and Aaron. Like I pulled into a parking lot at Old Orchard Beach at a Grimwater meet, and this dude, you know what he looks like now. He's got like a beard, like he's a fancy dude. Always has been, like well dressed, well put together. This dude. Complete buzz cut, no beard, no facial hair, in a lacrosse penny and lacrosse shorts. Like I just pull up and he just goes, "Hey, what's up? I'm Dubba," and just gives me a high five.
Oh, dude, I haven't heard that in so long.
And I don't even know what he's like. Oh, I've seen you driving around campus for like the last 2 years, and like we just like started talking for like an hour, and then the meet ended. And I don't know if you guys know about Grimwater. It was like a huge
before you guys showed up. We were talking about it.
So anyways, like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit you up this week," and he texts me or BlackBerry messages me, back in the day, and he ended up just like crashing on my couch for like a semester, and I mean we just have been friends ever since, and we did World Crush for a while. He was like him and the founder started this company called World Crush that like I think I look back now and I see the success of like brands like Donut and Hoonigan and all these, and I'm like, damn, if we just like stuck with it.
If we were dumbass college kids,
what I mean? But it was more like a disagreement at like between the founders and less us that made that fall apart. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We made stickers. We covered like extreme sports events and I
had Aaron make me a mod list board for Waterfest.
Yep.
Gave him a bunch of pictures and
the only thing I remember is that flamingo T-shirt that we made.
That thing was awesome.
I still have it.
No.
I gotta go find them. I have them in a box somewhere. But yeah, we did that for a while, and that was like a lot of fun. A lot of stickers, like a lot of like, it was like very like a juvenile company. Like we never made
remember
money.
it vaguely.
Yeah.
But like, was AJ involved with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because AJ. You were still living upstairs, I think, when AJ and Kyle Krish moved in downstairs. Because that was the whole thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the race window.
No. Yes. Justin. Justin talked about it.
AJ and Kyle lived on the bottom floor.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so is this at UNH?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
And so instead of going in the building, we would just open up their window, and we'd all, being drunk assholes, we would all just dive into their window, into their apartment.
You guys would have pizza delivered through the window.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Because that was like the whole, like when we were in college, that was the whole crew. It was like Healy, Brandon, you, Kyle, AJ, Richie Leak.
We were John Stevens, like the whole
Jack Gilmet, Kevin. I mean, it was the whole crew that we were.
Lunchbox, man. That was like,
it was just the whole.
That was like, it was crazy because I was at UNH with all these people that I know and grew up with, but like we're just all hanging out with all these dudes.
3/4 of them didn't go to UNH.
No,
they
all
just
like
came
in their
for the parties,
and we were just like having a fun time. So we did that. So me and Aaron did that. We worked together. He was actually my boss for like 3 years at my current company. We're in customer success, which is like, if I had to make a parallel to cars, like say you get like a really fancy car with a lot of features, but you don't know how to use all of them. We're the people who show you how to use all the features and maximize the value out of your car. But we do that with like software.
Yep.
So that's what we did. We managed a team. Like the goal is to get customers to stay and spend more money. That's the end goal of any business, really. But you like develop a relationship. So he was my boss for a while. And he left and went to another company, and it had been like a year and a half. Like that kept us connected because he moved to New York. And it had been like a year and a half. And we're like, man, we got to do something. And I was doing the car dad thing. So like, I don't know, like I got like 1,300 followers online. So maybe one person in the audience will be like, oh yeah, I've seen Car Dad. But I've always had like this creative itch to do stuff, but I like suck at art. I suck at music. I can't really do design very well, but I've always like cars have been the thing that I do. And I was already editing video. So I was like, I had a friend that was going through some shit like a year or two ago, and he was just like, yo, you should do it. Like, take the leap. And I really wanted him to like take the leap because he was just kind of like stuck. So I was like, all right, I'll show him. I'll do it. Whatever. Put my first video out with my iPhone, with the jankiest like video setup. I'm going to have to take a picture at some point, but I just did it. I wanted to get better at communicating too. Like, my career goals were like to manage people, and part of that is being a good communicator. And I'm like, I'll practice my public speaking, get out of my comfort zone, edit video, and I'm already working on my car. So like, let's try it. And I've done that for a little over a year now. I haven't got the progress that I would like, but I got a family and kids. It is a grind. And like, you see a lot of influencers out there that are just like talking heads over stuff and like, oh, it's easy, just post a video every day. Every video for a car channel costs like $1,000 minimum. You got to buy parts. You have to have content. You know what I mean? Great tax situation though. If you start an LLC, you can write off a lot of the car parts. So like, fun fact, do that. But anyways, I'd done that I'm like, Aaron, why don't we do something again? Like, we had the World Crush thing. We're not working together. We need to stay connected. So we started a company recently called Synchronized Spirit, which is kind of in the vein of what we were doing with World Crush. Try to get like a brand name that was like widely applicable, but the lens we're going through is like, he's a JDM guy, I'm a Euro guy. We're gonna meld those two styles, and someday hopefully do car builds and experiences for that. But for now, it's like, how do you start a business now? You create content, you create an audience, and then from there you can capitalize on it. So like, that's the phase we're in right now. We just launched our like intro video yesterday, and eventually we'll start. Sorry. Start with the content creation media part, and I mean, we really want to get back into merch, but like, not just t-shirts.
Yeah,
so like,
but he number one, Aaron claims he's not a Euro guy. His Mark IV wagon was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
That Accord was 100% Euro inspired. I still like,
he likes
to this day, I still think about that green Accord on those Type A's. And that is still one of my favorite cars. Yeah.
It's like, that's the style we're going for. Like, like I said, the long-term goal, like, if we can actually create the audience, create the business, is to like build some cars like that. Like, build like a JDM inspired 944, or build like a Euro inspired like Mercedes like he has now, or I mean a JDM inspired Mercedes, and like start importing like European cars from Japan and build those. So like, that's kind of where we, and then like the pie in the sky is like, how like you can do like a Porsche delivery experience, or like the Volvo has one too, where you fly out.
BMW has
like,
one.
Like, create like a system like that for like these types of builds. Like the hope with the brand is to start to bring in people. Like, we're trying to draw parallels from like car design to like architecture, art, and design, and like bring people that are like circling the scene, but also like use it as like a lens of like, cars are kind of like an extension of how you express yourself, your fashion, and things like that. And there's a lot of people that want to look cool and they don't know how. So I think like we can highlight that, like, don't go buy a brand new car. Like, you can look cool in a 2011 Mercedes wagon with some wheels and suspension, and like get into the scene, understand it, and bring more people into the community. I think that's like my favorite thing about the car scene. Like, how often have we talked over the last years? But like, anytime I see you guys, we can strike up a conversation. You know what I mean?
No time has been lost.
Exactly. Really. It's like, I've always loved like playing team sports. I've always liked that like community factor of like just being part of my life. And I think like the car community has always been that thing for me that I've just like really enjoyed. So like, that's kind of what we're trying to capture, like the essence of this brand, and just, at the very least, just stay connected to a friend who's like, people move away. It's really easy to get disconnected. And I think this is a cool way to do that. So yeah, that's kind of what we're working with right now.
I think I had maybe mentioned it last weekend, but I saw that Aaron was up with you, and I almost wish that like we had thought about this. Yeah. And like had both you and him on at the same time.
Yeah, he wants to come down. But he wants to come down.
I haven't seen him in.
No, he's doing great. He's getting married in June, and I'm officiating, so that should be
that's
really
awesome.
So I've been like practicing my podcast voice. No, practicing like speaking in front of people. I have to do it a lot at work now, but usually it's on like a Zoom meeting. So this is easy for me because I'm usually just talking in front of a screen like this. But it should be interesting. But I'm happy for him. He's doing great.
What's he driving?
He's got a 2011 Mercedes E350 wagon. And last week we went through so we've done a few different iterations of the suspension on this car. We did coilovers a few years ago. It never quite rode right. The car has factory rear airs. So we put the rear air back in, did a coilover strut without the spring. So you can kind of adjust at least the preload and stuff like that. Or the dampening and stuff like that. But then we did adjustable sensors for the air ride so that you can trick the system into thinking it's lower. And it's sitting great and it's riding unbelievably well. So, he's done a few other little mods to it, but it's just a cool looking dad wagon, and I kind of want one now. It's all-wheel drive, and I'm a dad, so.
It was his Jetta manual.
Yes.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Yeah.
I still keep an eye out for those.
It was
VR manual.
I'm trying to remember.
Wagon.
Yeah, it was
That was a
it was
Stevens
VR
car.
manual. What was it?
That
Stevens
was
car?
Richard Stevens' car, I think.
All right.
So I was actually talking to my daughter. One of my daughter's favorite story is a story from that car. So let me take another walk down memory lane. We went to Soho back in, it's got to be 2010, 2011, which is the furthest I've ever driven anywhere. And he bought that car from one of the Stevens brothers. And they're like, oh, we put new axles in, we do oil change, car's up to date on maintenance, good to go. So a few days later, all right, we're going to drive it 20 hours to Georgia. It was a World Crush thing. We had the holding loaded up tent. We had a booth there. It was the show was awesome. They don't even have that anymore, I don't think.
It's Alpine Bag Fair.
Yeah, Alpine Bag Fair.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever been to Helen? Oh my God, it's like you're in Germany. It's the coolest place.
So the reason I'm going is because I have a bunch of friends who still go, and I've never been. So, but it's invite only now because people have gone down and just driven recklessly. And Soho, obviously, I'm sure. Is this the story you're about to tell? Is there someone doing burnouts?
Well, we had
a
a cop do a burnout in the parking lot.
The last time I went to Soho,
14?
2011. No.
I thought you went with the white GLI.
I went with the white GLI. I'm happy to say I got top 100, but I think it was because I was friends with a bunch of the judges because
never.
That was when the GLI had the Savannahs on it and the fenders were mashed, but that fitment.
That was swag points back then, though.
But that fitment was perfect. But yeah, that year when I went, I mean, it was like the DJ at the Hellendorf. Mm-hmm. It was the little intersection at the corner of the Hellendorf. It was a burnout pit.
Yeah.
Like the cops were there, hanging out with
much
everybody.
Different from what I'm told. It's much more. They don't want you have to submit your Facebook and Instagram, submit pictures of your car, and really what they're looking for is to see on your social media if you're the guy with a BMW drifting on the street
on your friends, over your friends,
or doing what do they call it, takeovers now. Yeah, it's bring it to the fucking track, dude.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Save it for the AutoZone parking lot.
Ooh, Camp Sully.
Yeah, but so anyway, so we drive, so we get in. We're like, oh, we're gonna have a booth. We got all these stickers cut, all these shirts. We load up the car, and it's me, him, and this one. It was Danielle, I think. What's her last name? I forget her last name.
From college?
Yeah, from Danny Lyons.
Oh,
Danny.
In the car.
I think we know who she is.
Yeah. No, she's a car person, but we all go down. So we get in. Chris was
she does.
It was supposed to be 3 of us. Sorry if you have to cut this out. We'll start.
Oh, no, we're good.
It was supposed to be 3 of me, him, and Lacan, who was the other founder of World Crush. Was like, no, you should probably bring a girl with you to have at the booth. Like, okay. We weren't even that close with her, but we're like, all right, we're going to get close. We're driving 20 hours together. So we get in the car. I remember that night, Aaron's like, I'll drive the first leg, you drive the second leg. So I was like, okay, I'll sleep. I didn't sleep a wink the whole night. The second I get behind the wheel, I'm just like, it's falling asleep. Sorry, no. Aaron, you gotta drive.
You gotta drive.
You gotta drive. So we get
and this was in the Jetta wagon?
In the Jetta wagon.
Nice.
So that car left
Was it a 5-speed?
Yeah,
12
5
valve,
speed,
right?
5 speed, 12
And
valve.
it was a weird like cool gold color, right?
No, it was black with gold
with-
tails.
yeah.
Black. It's
Yeah,
right.
with gold
Okay,
tails.
yeah, that's right. That's
tan
right.
interior,
Tan
right?
interior.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's black with tan interior. Why
Which
did
is
I think
weird.
it was gold?
Somebody had a gold Jetta wagon.
Okay,
I know
all right.
what you're talking about.
Sorry.
I
I've
will
seen it.
try
I've seen
to
it too.
remember
Continue,
who
AJ.
it was.
No,
Sorry.
it's all right. It's all right. So, and I practiced this story with my daughter before I came here because she loves this one. So we're driving down. We stay overnight in Virginia. We were with like Ian Brandon or whatever.
Yep.
He was
Yep,
down
yep.
with us, and then we
DTM.
were with
He was
what was
DTM previous.
Kraut.
Yeah.
Kraut was with us. I don't know if you remember that dude, Justin Becky.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was with us too, and like a Mark II. The craziest thing, like he had like must have been like negative 40 offset like Dayton's on it. They were outside the fenders. The fender came down in the middle of his tire. Hold on to that for foreshadowing for later. So we drive all the way down and we get close, and all of a sudden we're in Georgia. We cross into like we're passing through Atlanta, and the thing starts like vibrating. Like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? Look under it. Not everything's fine. We get almost to like we're about like maybe an hour from the hotel in Helen, and all of a sudden we hear like a bang and we lose all power. And
Axle.
we're like, oh yeah, the axle actually all the nuts just backed
Yep.
out. We're like, okay, that's fine.
Fuck.
Throw it back in. It kind of broke the axle, but we were able to limp it to the hotel, and we got so we're in the hotel overhang after driving for 20 hours. Fixing
best.
this, fixing the car. We get a new axle. We're all piled into Becky's like Mark II, and the thing's just like sitting on the tire, like smoking. It was awful, but we get the axle, we fix it. Car's fine for now. We're like, okay, good, we got it. We had the whole weekend. It was great. We get in the car, we're driving home, and we're just like, we're not stopping on the way home. We're just gonna drive straight home. So we drive home. We get up to like Virginia, and we have to drive through the mountains before that too. And every time we turned, we were behind Becky, and every time we turned, like smoke would come out from whichever tire like he was turning. It was crazy. But we're about like middle of night. It must have been like midnight, 1 a.m. We're in Virginia, and all of a sudden he gets a blowout, obviously, because
Yeah.
yeah. And so we stop, like obviously he stops first, and we stop in front of him. We put the car in reverse and back up to him, and all of a sudden we fix the tire. Car's stuck in reverse. We're like, oh fuck, what's going on? We're still like 15 hours from our house, and I had to go to school the next day. So he puts in, and we cannot for the life of us get it out of reverse. So we like call AAA. We're like, oh well, it's probably nothing. We'll tow it to a shop in the morning. And so we're out there 2-3 a.m. They come pick us up, bring us to a shop. Of course the shop's closed, so we're all just like catching an hour or so sleep in the car until it opens, and they put it on the lift. There's a hole in the transmission. When the axle broke, it smacked the top of the transmission, and then it was okay, but when we put it in reverse, the pieces fell in and just fused it and shut. Like, so okay, so this is when is Sowo? Like May usually.
Yeah, I think it was in May. Yeah.
So May is when all the college students move out of college. So like every U-Haul dealership around was booked. They had no trucks. They had plenty of trailers, no trucks. So we finally called like a half hour away. They're like, we have one truck. It's a 27-foot. truck and a trailer. So I remember he pulls up in this with the trailer. We're in like a freaking like a land train. We're like taking up 50 feet of road. Puts the truck. I remember he pops the back open. We had grabbed like a case of beer from Georgia, and that was the only thing in the back of this 30-foot or 27-foot truck. And we just hammered it all the way home. It must have cost him like $500 in gas and like $100 in tolls, but we drove straight, and he was so mad. It was just me, Danny, and him like crammed in the front of the truck, silent for 15 hours.
Oh my god.
So we get home. I got home at like 2 a.m. and to Bedford, and I was like, oh fuck, I got at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Jumped in the car and just drove 100 to UNH and got there in like 30 minutes. And I was like, got to bed, woke. I was like, oh my God, that's the craziest thing. So yeah, the show, we went to H2O with that thing too. Broke down in New York City.
In the Jetta?
Yeah, in the Jetta, we got air off the George Washington Bridge on the way home and busted the pan.
Yeah.
And we towed it to United Motorsport or something like that.
Connecticut.
In Connecticut, and we tried they had like just moved to a new shop. Their welder was in the old shop. It was the middle of the night. We tried
They helped you, though?
Yeah, they helped us. We tried to JB weld it, and it lasted like 20 minutes. So again, we're we were just luckily able to do a regular AAA, and it was me, him, and AJ Kane jumped in my red joint, my red Audi, and just the B5. That thing was just a very trusty and dependable car. Very low. We were rubbing all the way home. We had all of our stuff from the whole week in the car. 3 like sweaty dudes, and I hammered. I put the cruise control like 85. We got home safe. But yeah,
Was that the same year with when Kyle had the Mark V Jetta?
Yeah, it was fun. We got to fix his oil pan on the way down.
Oh, Jesus.
I remember that. But I'm glad I brought my like impact gun, because I was able to like do that. But like everything happens in the middle of the night, you know? So we're always waiting somewhere for shit to open, and that sucked. But yeah, that wagon left us stranded a lot of times. So I like have a love-hate relationship with it. Like it's like my worst fear is always like getting stranded on like a long trip.
Cheat code for anybody that has a Mark IV Jetta 12 valve or 24 valve motor mount spacers.
Yeah.
And you can buy a reinforced pan R32 pickup, Mark V R32 pickup with a shortened pan.
The way to go.
There you go.
Yeah, I remember on my black joint after I broke it, I put a reinforced pan on. It was a nice peace of mind to know.
So when did you get the Audi?
The B5, let's see.
I forgot about that.
Because that was a pretty awesome car.
Yeah.
I love that thing. So I got that. Oh my
Stock
god!
or?
No, I got that. Yeah, it was like a slightly modded. So when I bought it, it had lowerings. I'm trying to remember the chronological order of my cars now, because I feel like I had the blue Audi first. I had a blue Audi.
I don't even remember the blue one. I just remember the green joint. I remember the green joint to the red one.
So the green joint I sold to this dude Noel, who had like a glass blowing shop down in Nashua. It was actually really cool. He was a cool dude. He had all these cool stees or whatever, cool business.
Yeah.
Noah Bishop.
Yeah, Noel Bishop.
Yep.
And
Jeez, so many names I haven't heard in decades.
and I felt bad because I sold it to him like, it's not perfect, but it probably needs some. And he's like, dude, I just pulled a dipstick. There's like oil in this thing. It was leaking. I didn't even notice because it was like leaking onto the block and like burning off. But anyways, he wasn't mad about it because I sold it pretty cheap. But sold to him. I bought a B5 A4, the blue, like Daigle's old one.
Yeah, the Santorin blue. Yeah,
and,
dark one.
I remember they had like a dent in the roof, bone stock. Fixed that. Had like that 180 timing tensioner problem. Fixed that in a flex pipe. And then like I was driving home from Libby's one day in a snowstorm.
I
and
forgot
I'm like,
about Libby's.
Is that the bar at UNH?
Yeah.
It's the bar you
and I was like,
I've been there a couple times.
It was snowing, and I was like, you know, remember that call wall, that big, huge parking lot across the street from the edge?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go drift. That car had bald tires because I was poor. I was in college. Like I barely afforded the car.
Let's go drifting.
Yeah. So I was like, and I go to like get in the car in the parking lot and like turn the wheel, and the car just doesn't turn. I just like go straight into a pole and total it at like 20 miles an hour. It was crazy. It was on April Fool's Day.
Now I remember the blue one.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, that night.
Yeah, that's my guy.
I remember correctly that night.
Yeah.
I think you had a party because you were like,
yeah, I was so
I
mad.
need to get this.
I couldn't believe I did that because like I didn't go for long. I just went to like meet a friend. I wasn't like hammered or anything like that. I just like was like, I'm just gonna go have fun because I went there for like an hour to meet a friend who came up, and I just like
sent it.
Yeah, I didn't
Sent
even.
it too
I wasn't
hard.
even drifting yet. Yeah. I was just like going into the parking lot, and I just turned, and it didn't turn, and I like crashed in slow motion. But I hit it like right in between the fender and the hood, and just like split it. And I was like, and the car was cheap. So, anyway, sold that for like parts, and found the red joint in like Springfield, Mass for $2,500. It had
What year was that one?
2001. So it
was a facelift.
Yeah, I remember it had like 150,000 miles. Everyone's like,
hold on, Al's creeping Facebook over here.
I love that car.
These are pictures that I've taken. I'm going through my car
did
show
the whole
pictures.
engine build on
Yeah,
it, right?
I built that engine. So I got it with high mileage. So I knew like at some point I was either going to sell it or build it. And like all my building skills come from like at the time was like Vortex and like the Power Block on Spike TV.
I fucking love that shit.
That was my Saturday mornings
love
growing
that
up. So
shit,
I would
dude.
watch that religiously. That was my thing, and I learned pretty much everything between the Autotech course, those shows, because we didn't have YouTube. YouTube's like the best thing ever for car people. We didn't have a lot of content back in the day. So like
Power block TV.
Oh, I remember
Oh my
from
God,
Power.
trucks.
What was his name? Stacy
David. He's my guy.
Yeah.
Follow him on the internet. Love that dude. That was like, that's why I like trucks. Like secretly, that's like, and I've always wanted like a pickup truck because like I loved his show. But
Did you watch Motor Week too?
Yeah, Motor Week. Remember Nopi Tuner Vision?
Oh
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was that was like the
Yes,
import
dude.
scene. But yeah, so I got the red thing. Like I said, 158K. Had a turbo timer, lowering springs, really badly tinted windows, and a blow-off valve, and that's it. And I drove it for a while like that. And then I graduated. I got a real job that paid me just barely enough to live with my parents. Because like I
So, wow.
yeah, I got a real job, real career, making like $24,000 a year, just cold calling people all day, every day. It was like mind numbing, but it was a good experience looking back. But man, it sucked. So, but I had college loans, and I remember I got like paid like $700 every 2 weeks, and I got my college loans like $680 a month. So I had like no money, but like I slowly like got better from there. But I started building an engine. I was like, something's going to happen with this. It's getting high mileage, and you know, I did the coilovers, and you saw the wheels and all that stuff. In the meantime, I was always wrenching on it. But like, I was like, I'm going to try to build a 1AT. Never built an engine before. I bought one. I don't even remember where I got it from. Some random guy on Craigslist back when Craigslist was a thing. And it had like a completely destroyed head. So I ended up having to buy another motor. And then I ended up, I got through building it. I got it machined. And the bottom end ended up being junk on the new motor too. So I had to buy another block too. So I ended up having 3 different heads and 2 different blocks to put this one engine together. But all the internals were like forged. I had like a trigger welded crank, all like JE pistons, integrated engineering rods, and then I did a big turbo on it. And I remember like putting it together. I'm like, there's no fucking way this is gonna start. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
After the third block.
No faith. And we were in Aaron let me do all this in his house because I didn't have room for it in my house. So like we're at Aaron Woods' house or Dubba. And I was like, I remember I didn't have a license at the time because I had gotten in trouble. And so I was like, I've lost my license like a lot of times for like speeding and other related things. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to just put it there and I'm just going to finish it before I get my license back. And I did it. I put it back together. I remember the first day it started and I couldn't believe, like I was in disbelief that it worked, but it started. I remember bringing it to one of my buddy's shops after, and he's like, dude, you're lucky you got here. Like, you didn't even, like, tighten the timing belt. Like, it was just, like, I had put it on, but I never actually, like, tensioned it. Like, it was timed, like, it was one tooth off. But anyways, I brought it to him. He fixed that in, like, a second. And then he programmed.
Was that Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy. He let me, like, so I'll tell this story. I worked for him for a month.
He proofread the build.
He did. He fixed all of the things I fucked up.
That's awesome.
But he fixed that, and then I remember I got a new ECU, and he had to like program it. So I drove there. It was absolute dog. I was like, I cannot believe how slow this thing is. This is unbelievable. He programmed the ECU, and I drove home. I'm like, holy shit, this thing fucking flies. It was so sick.
What did you do for a tune?
I just did a uni like stage like 3 tune.
Nice.
But I bought an ECU with it already preloaded.
Was it KO4 or was
it was like a GT.
Yeah,
Garrett?
stage 3. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
it
big
was
28 probably.
No, bigger, 30
Really?
something.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was super laggy, but man, it like the external gate like
Pulled like a freight train.
oh my god, it was the best with that Quattro,
Yeah.
man. I've been chasing that ever
Did
since.
you do the AEB head or was it just the
No, I didn't. I swapped it. It was an AWM head. I swapped it to an AEB head.
dude? So that's like a good build.
Yeah, I couldn't like, and I was like so tedious about it. It actually came out like super clean. I was
Yeah.
so proud of it.
I remember seeing. I was like, "Damn, this thing's actually
Yeah.
fucking sick."
And
Was that? But was that when we hung out at H2O? I think it was 2010. Was that prior to the
that
build?
was just when I had the Mercedes wheels
Okay,
on it.
so that
and
was-
lower.
all right.
That was stock. So
So
like,
I think it was later on that I saw that the car had been
Yeah,
progressing.
It had
and-
the was it the 3SDM 6-spoke ones or was it the
yeah, 3SDM
Yeah.
.06s. I think
yeah
they were
the
called.
06s yeah.
And that was when they were new, so like pretty cool back in the day. But I was like really proud of that build, and like I just like I had it for a while, and I was like, I want something new. I really wanted to build like a Datsun 240Z, and like it was before the market had like gone nuts. So I sold that car for like I don't know $5 or $6 grand, which was like a crazy deal if you look back on it. And I bought a 1974 240Z, and it was just a rot box. I spent 2 years just doing floors, and I was like, F this thing. I need to get back into German cars. So that's not sold that. I bought it for $5,000, sold for $5,000 with new floors. It needed paint, bodywork, everything. I didn't care. I was like,
And what did you buy?
944.
What year?
It's a 87, and that's what I'm driving
damn.
now. Yeah, 87.
So that's a late offset.
Yep. And I don't know. I really wanted a 944 turbo, but right around that time is when they went from being like $2,000 cars to being like $10,000 cars. And we were like, oh, we're gonna move in a year. We had like a lot of life stuff that like prevented me from like spending a lot of money on a car at the time. So I got a base model. Ended up finding it right in Manchester. I was looking around the world. I was around the U.S. I was willing to ship something if it was clean. I was like, I just don't want something that's rusty. And I just saw it.
You didn't buy it from James, did you?
I don't know. It was an older guy.
Okay.
No. Older guy, and I just saw it on Facebook. It looked clean. I was like, I'll go check it out. It's right on the street. And I got under it, drove it. I'm like, it's perfect. There's no rust. There's no rot. It drives. It's been maintained. Yeah. And so I bought it. I've had it for like 7 years now. I've been chipping away at it, but I'm building a 07K. It's like my returning back to building engines, which is actually like a really like therapeutic experience for me. It's like so relaxing and nice.
So you're familiar with Boost Brothers Garage?
Oh
then?
yeah.
They've been building so much cool shit for that platform.
Exactly. So I reached out to them when I started the Car Dad channel. I reached out to 2 brands. I reached out to Boost Brothers and I reached out to Integrated Engineering. And I said, hey guys, I posted one video and like you can tell me to screw off, but like, would you be interested in doing some kind of like partnership or sponsorship? And Boost Brothers instantly gave me a discount, and Integrated Engineering says 50% off any parts for you, and we'll offer you a code to get any of your friends 10% off.
Damn.
Wow.
And I was like, and it was just so cool to see brands that like that you respect, because I was going to run Integrated Engineering stuff in my engine regardless of what they said.
Yeah.
But they were just like, no back and forth. Like, yeah, we'll send you an agreement. And I was like, that's so awesome that brands like this still exist. So like it kind of like reinstated like my desire to get into this. My whole goal with the Car Dad channel was to just get discounted car parts by filming stuff that I'm already doing.
You just want more juice for the things. You want the juices flowing, dude.
Like
right?
I built the garage. I have to pay for this somehow. How do I monetize some of the stuff that I'm already going to be doing? So like I'll just film it and put it on YouTube. If I get 5 followers, like, and I don't have a lot of followers, but you do get a lot of people that reach out and ask you questions, and it's actually kind of nice. Again, back to that community aspect. So like, I got my feet, like my toes wet doing the content stuff. I mean, you would crush it. You could be like the humble mechanic in the Northeast, man.
Yeah.
And you got a great podcast voice, I got to say.
Oh, no, 100%.
That's not the first time I've heard that.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But
Steven at work.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh god.
Like, yes.
Now Dan's gonna get nervous and start like cracking like he's 13
No,
again.
you have the perfect voice for this.
Really?
I think I sound like a fucking idiot.
I think
I've
you
been
sound
practicing.
awesome.
Well, I mean, you fuck up the intro every week.
Sometimes you got. Hey,
You know what it is though?
I nailed it.
You can't hear yourself talk.
No, I can't.
No, that's why I don't
hate my voice, and I think you sound great. I think all of you guys sound better than me. So
You're a little more articulate, and I didn't realize how bad my lisp was until
I didn't
it's
even notice.
very faint.
I didn't even notice
I
you had a
notice
lisp.
it. I notice
I've been
it.
friends with you for
I
fucking
know.
20 years, and I don't basically 20 years. It feels like at this point. But
I know
don't
I
even-
have it, so I hear it.
No,
But
I don't.
I know it's not bad.
If
but
you've now, it's gonna piss me off because now I'm gonna hear your
Yeah.
lisp. But I have never noticed you having a lisp before.
yeah.
Well, maybe
I've listened to like 3 Instagram clips of myself,
that's
and
the
I'm
only thing I
like,
can listen
I
to.
have no interest in
You'll get
listening
used
to
to it.
myself
You'll
talk.
get used to it. Yeah. I have to like listen to like phone calls that I'm on a lot. And,
Well, I was
like,
gonna say, so I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll host Zoom meetings and stuff
Yeah.
like that,
You
and
gotta
do
go.
like full presentations and whatever. And like sometimes you have to go back and like
just get
listen
numb
to
to it.
whatever, and you get.
and then you film yourself on YouTube.
I
when you're editing.
Yeah.
I did do a new Instagram page. I don't know if you
Drive
know.
Works?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I haven't
followed
really
that.
done much
I
with
followed that.
because it's all the side work that I
Yeah.
do. So, and I only have so much bandwidth.
I hear you. We live in a cool time now where we have like it's like a gift in the curse, the internet. We have the opportunity to do stuff like this and
Yep.
like try to make something out of it and like flex the creative side a little bit, but also like do something we're passionate about and maybe make a few bucks. But But it is a lot of work, man.
Yeah. Well, we can appreciate it.
And
I
you
mean,
gotta-
like,
yeah.
I think
it's awesome.
I think I can speak for you. Is like the reason why we're doing this is not to like necessarily like make money off of
Yeah.
it, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it's a way for. I mean, we hang out all the time together anyway.
Yeah.
I love hanging out
And
with you guys.
yeah, but it's like an opportunity for us to just. Like I look forward to the nights that we get together because
Yeah.
it's like it's a little
Yeah.
bit of a way to like decompress. You
Friday
just gotta
nights
talk
seem to
about
be
shit.
working out
And
really
It's
well.
not too bad. I have to work tomorrow, but like generally.
But you would
it's
have
no
been up
big
till
deal.
10:30, 11 o'clock anyways, right? Not like you're going to go to bed.
Last night it was out in the garage till like 11.
Yeah.
But Kim like goes to bed early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, let's hang out for like, I'll get home. We'll hang out for like an hour or
Eat
two.
dinner and shit.
Yeah.
Eat dinner. And then like, that's where it's like tricky because you're like you said, she goes to bed and I'm like, ooh,
What do I
it
do
would be
now?
real nice to just
Go
to bed.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no,
My
I'm gonna
mind
go
doesn't-
do
yeah.
a timing belt on an 08
You got this
Cabrio.
list
Like,
of things
yeah.
in your head. You're like, oh, I got to do something.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, dude, I feel, but recently it's been getting away
Yeah.
from me. It's just
My-
riding bikes. Like, I want to
Yeah.
ride bikes again, like
Yeah.
bicycles.
We need to bring back.
Remember? So I don't.
BMX
Nobody
rides.
knows this on the pod on
Yep.
that's listening. If we still have listeners,
You guys
we used
still
to do
here?
we used to do a Saturday night BMX ride.
I remember that. That
Yeah,
was so
through
cool. I never did
Manchester.
it, but I was like, that looks like fun.
We had a crew for a while. I mean, there was times where we had like 15, 20.
Yeah,
probably
there was
most.
it was
most
a large
like 20.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, max 20. But it
But
was
we
like
would just
a
rip around
deep
Manchester. It was so fun, and it was like you're a kid again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like the car scene is very similar to like the skate and BMX scene was when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, all you needed to do is like ride a bike and you could be friends with somebody
Kick,
or like
push, and coast.
yeah, or like skate. Like it was just like so communal, and I feel like that's kind of the especially about the Volkswagen scene. You think about the Volkswagen scene back in like
People
the early
are grounded,
2000,
man. People
it
are
was
grounded.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
I like-
between Vortex and
Yeah.
the Dust Off and
Like you
H2O,
said,
yeah.
you said before, it's like you don't see somebody for like 2 years, and you're like, hey, you want to just like go ride a skateboard or
Do you want to
like,
come on my
Yeah.
podcast? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
exactly. Exactly.
But it's like the thing is like at this point, I mean, you guys know, like I'm probably not going to go to many shows. I
That's
might go
okay.
to a couple stuff like
That's
that.
why I
but
like
it's
Cars and Coffee.
maybe a
Low
yeah,
lift, you
yeah,
know?
but it's like the thing is though, is like realistically,
day.
I would have never have met all of you guys. I mean, maybe we would have crossed paths in college, AJ, but probably not.
No, you were
But I
a
mean,
freshman. I was a senior.
yeah.
We would have had no classes together.
But I mean, like
I would have
Dan,
never met you.
we would have never have met.
Yeah.
There would have been there was no cross between friend groups
No.
and stuff like that. I mean, there are some people that
Ross
like
McLaughlin. Well, no, because it was all cars.
no, but the thing is though, is I think I met Ross through cars.
You
Because
did,
I mean,
probably.
because realistically, because I mean, it's like, you know, Sawyer and I grew up together. So like I've known Sawyer since I was 3 years old.
Right.
So like we were friends, but then when I was always into cars as a kid, but then it's like, you know, we got into cars together, we started meeting people, and then, you know, you get exposed, you meet different people. Like I remember back in the day, like before I met the Volkswagen people, when I still had my Saab 9.3, that was my first car. Like, you know, I met Donnie Ross and Nick Fiorentino and his brother Johnny with like the DSM scene and stuff like that.
Oh,
so like
man,
I
haven't
met
heard that
Yeah.
acronym in a long time.
so like I met all of those guys, and then, you know, I ended up getting into Volkswagens, and then I met, you know, well, now Steph Doobie.
Yeah.
But, you know,
VW Vixen.
Yeah, like I met Steph, and I met Jess Elway and Sean Cameron and like that whole group of people, and then any motorsport in that group, and then you get deeper into Volkswagens, and then, you know, you almost hate to say it, but a stupid shitty car brand brought you a lot of friends.
It does. It was
Yeah.
crazy,
Like-
especially I don't know. I can't speak to the JDM scene. Like, I don't know. You'd see a lot of Civic bros like driving around Elm Street, so maybe it was
Yeah.
the same way. But like, I don't know that anything was like the Volkswagen scene back in the
No,
in the
it was
early
a
2020.
very like
No, because everybody was trying to be it.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what shut down a lot of the shows is
Yeah.
people showing up that weren't really a part of that community, sort of trying to show off
Yeah.
and be
But-
like, hey, look at my new different car, and it's
Yeah.
like not to say those cars weren't good, but the way that they were representing them was poor.
Yeah.
You know what I
It
mean?
was it was like gang culture back then though. Like a Civic rolls up to a meet, you're like, nah, bro.
Oh, dude, remember
You
back
can't
in the
do
day
that.
where it was like Honda versus...
Oh, no way.
Now
Yeah.
I feel like if you have a sick Honda or like somebody swaps... I've heard like awesome Honda swap. Dude, have
Yeah.
you seen the Honda swap 911s?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Dude.
do the K series.
Yeah,
those
dude, I
K24s.
saw them at SEMA, and people... Dude, you should have seen... You should have seen the reaction from people around SEMA.
A
Like,
Porsche purist must have
people
been so
were walking
mad.
up and they were like,
But the thing is,
It
so
was
like
so
I
fast.
watched literally a whole YouTube series on this
Mm-hmm.
because like I stumbled across it and I got super interested and I was like, why the fuck are people putting K series in 911s?
oh, really?
And I started it like it was like a series of videos where it was like a 996 with a K series, a 997 with a K series, and it was a mix of like naturally aspirated ones as well as turbocharged ones. And the reason behind it is because if you have a turbo 911, you're talking 30 grand for a shitty replacement
Shit, yeah.
engine that
Yeah.
still needs
Yeah.
a bunch of work.
It's true.
But you can buy, a 9-10 grand conversion kit.
Well, it's LS. Same thing.
Yeah,
with
like the
LS.
LS
But buy-
swap
buy-
944
Yeah.
LS.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was so big.
That was on my
Wait, can
list.
we talk about 944s for a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah,
All
let's
right,
talk about
so
944s.
07K.
Here we go.
07K.
07K. I'm into.
Yeah,
I'm
I
here
wanna
for the 07K.
So
Yeah, I
I,
wanna get back
still
into that.
have my first 944, and I remember like that car was extremely important to me, and there's been so many times where I was like, I should just sell this hunk of junk, right? And I've kept it because I'm like, one day I want to do
the swap.
the swap.
Yeah.
Originally, it was like, all right, I'll do an LS because I've been into 944 since like
Yeah,
dude,
you're an OG 944.
yeah,
fan.
yeah. So the Pelican Parts 944, 968,
Forums.
924 forum, like I don't know. That was like people were on Vortex. I was on that forum.
Yeah.
And I started to get onto Vortex, but I was like more into the early water cooled stuff. So I kind of sunk my teeth into that. I really liked that shit because that was my first car. But then my first car blew up, and it wasn't my fault. I just literally was driving it hard, and I think it had an oil cooler failure at one point.
Yep.
So I think
Is
the
it
bearings
base?
the bearings were probably a little bit.
Was it just the base 944?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pre-85 though.
Yeah. So early offset.
Yeah, and then I got
the
an
round
80
gauges.
and now the gray one that I have is an 885 and a half. So it's like it's so funny the difference between those two cars. I actually used to like the late dash more
Yeah.
because it's more rounded,
More modern. Yeah.
but the early dash is so cool. Like I actually like it's reversed now. I actually like the early 944s. They had a different offset, and also the gauges were completely different. They had round gauges. And
like
the
more
tacks-
90, way more like 90s.
My
like
favorite part,
boxy,
yeah, the
or
tack
80s.
goes like this.
Yeah.
It sweeps backwards.
Oh, wow. That's pretty
and I
cool.
thought that was really cool. And it's more square. It just looks more like
It looks
old school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the 944 dash in the late model could be any car from like 80s to like
Yes.
2000. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like my hope to do, because you gotta, I don't know, the gauges are like really hard to get to work with the swap.
Yes.
So like I kind of want to do like there's companies that make like 911 style gauges that like work with Haltech. So I want to do
Oh, that'd
like
be
a
cool.
911 dash with the gauges, no glass, just like the individual round
Single.
gauges, single gauges. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like my hope for it.
You'd
but
have to like fiberglass that in or something. Or?
I don't know. People 3D print like a plate, like it's. I don't. I get that. I'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's
I've seen
like my hope
I've seen
for
a
it,
lot
yeah.
of people do.
Boost Brothers did it.
Yeah.
in their
Oh,
car.
did they?
Yeah, yeah. It
Okay.
looks really cool.
I thought it was cool though. They did the 07K naturally aspirated, and I think they made like almost 200 horsepower or something.
reliable horsepower. That's
Right.
because
they were tracking that car.
Yeah.
Because
'Cause,
the
like,
red one, I think. Was
yeah,
the naturally
it's red,
aspirated.
and they did like a 968 like conversion
Yep,
in the front
yep.
end. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
But I just like really got tired of maintaining that 2.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's so slow and it's so
Yeah.
it's so like needy.
Don't do it. I've been trying to get back to that point for
Yeah.
so long. Like, dude, I did the head gasket and like everything. I rebuilt that motor. I mean, like AJ Kane was in my garage in Hudson.
I miss that dude. I need to get back together with him.
When are we gonna have him on? By the way.
Truthfully, I haven't talked to him in like.
Yeah.
Even we're in a group chat with like Justin and Sawyer and
He was
Ben
close
and
on the
shit.
Mark too. I know he was close on the Mark
we
too.
we like talking once in a while. I'm telling him to just like come spend a day at my house and let's just finish the
I
thing
just
because he lives really
remember
close
from
to
the
me.
college days with the
would be-
Lincoln
that'd be
Continental
awesome.
wheels on
You
it.
should do that.
Yeah.
Because I remember the last time I saw him working on it. This was.
I'm 99% sure it
5
runs
years
and
ago.
drives. I just don't know to what extent he
Didn't you
drives
tow it to a show recently or something?
Last time I saw it at
Couple
a show
years ago?
was Dust Off, and yeah, he took because he has
2
he
years
has
ago?
a trailer,
Yeah.
maybe 3,
Okay, yeah.
but
But yeah, 94407.
944 is-
I was
yeah.
just like I remember weighing the options. I was like LS. I priced them all out.
Yep.
I think the 07K might be the most expensive right now,
It is.
but it's the most supported. So like, there's no problem that someone hasn't already figured it out.
Isn't it the best? Did
That's
you watch
big-
the guy that did? He was doing a. Oh shit! What was it? It was a JDM motor.
Oh,
was
was
funny.
it a K series or
Might
was
have
it
been.
like an ARB?
He was really
RB.
trying to get it to work, and he was. I remember I watched.
It's on YouTube.
I
It's like an
stumbled
old-
on
yeah,
it.
Yeah, YouTube.
And then
we
at
have
the
same
end, he just
algorithm.
goes, "If anybody could come to my house,
Yeah, I know
and
exactly what you're
figure
talking
this
about.
out with me," because he got so far, dude. He got the turbo routed. He did
Yeah.
everything, dude. I think it was a K series.
Yeah,
I think
it
it
was.
was a
I know exactly
K24.
what video you're
and
talking
I was
about.
like, this guy is like going deep, and he did a lot of work. Like this thing came
In
out
his
pretty
driveway,
good.
too,
Yeah,
right?
in his
Yeah.
driveway. And then remember, he's like, I'm gonna Turo to get an iced coffee,
Yeah,
and like he
yeah.
picks up a Z06 or something,
Yeah.
and he's like,
No, it's crazy. But like
Yeah.
I wait, and then the 180 was also on my list because there is one dude that's making a conversion for it. It absolutely like might be low key the cheapest, easiest swap to do.
Yeah,
you
180
just need to
is-
figure out
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit more stuff. But
Did
the
you?
07
Well, you saw Motorworks Racing, right?
Yeah, dude,
they
those
have like
things are
the
crazy.
The 180, dude. They did
Race
like the
cars.
turbo in front of the motor.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh.
all. And they sold a couple. The guy that owns 944 barn.
one just came up for
Elliot.
sale recently, like last month.
Yeah. So Elliot bought one.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, and it's like a 924 Carrera GTP, like wide body,
Yeah.
with the 180. Dude, they're monsters on the track.
Yeah.
They weigh 2,000 pounds. I think this one had 500 horsepower, and they
You
do
can't kill a 180.
everything.
180s
what happened
don't
to
lose.
that company?
I don't know.
Motorworks
They're
Racing.
still on the internet.
Yeah, I haven't
So-
seen them post anything
No.
since like 2023.
Elliot's just doing the Lord's work down there.
I know,
now.
dude. This guy
He's the
has
best.
he has
talk to
all
him.
the front transaxle Porsches that you could ever have. He's got 924s, 944s, 968s. I mean, this guy is. But he built a barn in Georgia.
Yeah.
I hope I see him. I hope
I
he
want to
goes
meet him.
to-
I talked to him on Instagram from
Yeah.
time to time. I bought some stuff from him, but I feel like the 944 like grew up being like this bastard stepchild of Porsche that everyone like hated on.
Yeah.
But like one of my buddies' dad had one growing up. It was Guards Red, and I thought it was like that's pretty. Like I hate the bumpers, but that's a pretty cool car. And
American
I still have those bumpers. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to do the Euro swap like you did.
The Euro bumpers look so much better.
Yeah, I gotta
will
do
say.
that.
are they easily obtainable?
I paid like
Ish?
$850. They're probably way more now because of
Yeah.
the
The
government.
Yeah, but
But
like now that car is like, especially if you have a clean one. There's a lot of like junky 944s out there, but like I can't go anywhere without someone be like, "What year is that?" Like and like is that a 940? Like, you know what I mean? Like even the Porsche guys now are like, "Oh, that thing's clean. That thing's awesome."
Yeah, because
I
you
wanna
don't
get one
see
of
those things
Because like
anymore.
they weren't cool enough for people to really
Yeah.
preserve. So
Nobody
when you
was
see
keeping
one,
them.
Yep.
and like I feel like that's like a unique trait to like car people. Like there was a little story about like last fall we were at my cousin's wedding up north, and like this lady pulls up in a 1994 like Jeep Cherokee, like the square body kind, but it was perfect,
yeah.
absolutely mint. Like there's like 100 people around, no one's looking, and there was like 4 of us car guys were like, holy shit, that thing's
thing's
so
empty.
clean.
But that's
And it's
because
like, you know
clean
what I mean?
XJs don't exist
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. So-
They're long
You
gone.
want to get weird? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
So our new, one of our new service writers, she came from Audi, right? So Greg knows her,
Okay.
and all the guys in the shop are like, "Whose fucking super mint 03 Ford Focus is that?" It's just so weird, dude.
And that's why that's the novelty of the 944 now.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
no
not
one
that
cared
bad.
about
Well-
no one cared about them for so long. They're mostly junk, but now you see a clean
It's the
one.
same
like,
thing as the Type 3,
Yeah.
the Volkswagen squarebacks
Yeah.
and the
Well,
fastbacks
that's
and
even
stuff.
more.
The Beetles and the buses were nobody cared about the squarebacks. They were like, these are throwaway cars. And
They're so
now
cool.
they're coming around
Yeah.
where people are like, these are the weird ones that are now rare. You know what I mean? And it's like they're harder to find in good condition because everyone abused the fuck out of them.
Remember
then let 'em to die in a
the
field.
Cavalier, the two Cavaliers we saw at Cars and Coffee. The
Oh yeah.
How did I
Z28.
I missed
the Z28?
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was like a
terrible.
Z28. I think there was a Beretta
What color
too.
was it? Was it there's a guy that works the Cars and Coffee in Bedford at the Range Rover dealership that has a couple of them they're like rad cars, absolutely mint, but not my cup of
Yeah,
tea. But
but
like,
what did I sent in the group chat earlier today? That mint ass '92 Oldsmobile Bravada.
Yeah. That thing looked
Like it was a lowered Oldsmobile Bravada on saw blades.
sounds like a Ludwig like thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
always doing stuff like
There
that.
was that, and then the Z28 Beretta that I sent. That was like the like metallic magenta.
Yep. This is cool stuff. But
There was when we were talking to Ludwig, there was an '87 Prelude flip up headlights. Old dude, definitely deep in his 60s, driving by. I was like, he bought that thing brand new and never drives it.
yeah.
But yeah,
I just like someday when I grow up, I hope to just buy one brand new car. Still haven't done it.
my Golf R.
Your truck could have brought you a couple new cars. Probably.
That thing wasn't cheap. I just back to Stacy David. Always wanted a pickup truck I had so I'm a very goal oriented person. So I've always had this vision of how I wanted life to be from when I was a teenager. And one of the things is I want to live in this town and I want to have a pickup truck and I want to have 2 kids. And that was part of it. So and then when I got a pickup truck, I was like, oh man, it'd be really cool to have a diesel pickup truck because diesels are cool. So I got one and then, can't really drive it anymore.
Well,
It's
now
too-
you're trying to swindle me to live in your town.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, the taxes are great.
dude, that house that we looked at today,
I'm
the
much
taxes
lower
are
than you.
$2,000 less than
Yep.
what we pay.
Yeah, we have great tax rate in town, but great
That's
schools. But the valuation of the homes are so high that's where people get when I moved in, my house valuation doubled, so my taxes went way up. But if you're moving in now, you're pretty safe from that happening. So,
Yeah, that the house is on the short list.
yeah.
A few things to figure out, but it's on the short list.
I want all the car dads in town, I have the Bedford, we live in Bedford, we have a Porsche Club of Bedford. We have our own chapter now because there's enough of them. Of course, I have the shittiest car.
Yeah.
Everyone else got brand new 911. The guy has 3.
Yeah, if I buy that house, I won't be joining the Porsche chapter.
Yeah, that's
I
where
can
I'm
tell
at.
you that.
Well, that's the thing. It's do I buy
get you a
do I buy
924.
do I buy a 911 or do I build a garage for an absorbent amount of money to work on a $4,000 car? And that's
garage.
car guy math right there.
Yep.
Trust me, I can have a 911 GT3 right now.
Yeah.
But I
Same,
have
same.
25 ship boxes and a 60 by 60.
The more the merrier.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
But it's long term. Eventually, I'll get that. So I had the opportunity to build the thing now. Might as well just build the thing now.
Question for you though.
Yeah.
So I've been going back and forth because I have the RS4 and I love the RS4. But
I'll get rid of it. Sell it to me.
Well, so I love driving it, and it's been a bucket list car for me. But I have been looking at 997s,
Me too.
996s, and I'm like, I could probably make that with a little bit of cash, make the shift. And there was a 996 Carrera 4S that popped up.
Is that the one you
Is that
sent us?
Yes.
the white one?
27. Oh,
Dan's Marketplace Farm.
wait.
It was
what year was it?
$32,000.
Yeah.
It had 80. I sent it to you guys. It was almost like like a champagne
Yeah,
color
it
with
looked awesome.
tan interior.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was beautiful, and I was like,
Have you driven one of those?
yes.
Because I don't know, I didn't get the 911 thing for
Yeah.
a long time. I'm like, oh, they're cool cars. One of my friends threw me the keys. He's got a 993 Carrera 4.
Yeah.
And he threw me the keys, go take it for a ride. And I drove 20 feet. I'm like, oh, fuck, I get it now.
Well, that's.
yeah. So
I mean, honestly, I got it with the 944s
Yeah.
too.
Well, no,
I was
it's still a different driving
it
experience.
is way
Yeah.
different, but also I realized that Porsche was special when it came
yeah.
to just the way they handle,
Yeah.
and Volkswagen does a pretty good job of it too, which is
yeah.
also why it hooked me with the VW stuff. But I've been to Luftgekalt, I've been to
I need to
Rennsport
get to that
Reunion,
one, yeah.
I've seen all, obviously I got the 68 Squareback, which is not anywhere near 911
Yeah,
territory,
but similar, yeah.
but the air
Same
cooled
family.
stuff is really really neat to me. And so I gotta ask you, if you had the option, are you gonna go air cooled or are you gonna go water cooled?
Oh, I don't know. It depends on my budget at the time. Like, I love the 993. Like, I told that guy, if you ever get rid of this car, I will do whatever I got to do to buy this thing. It's got E88s. It's black.
damn.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. We did the test fit at my house, and I'm like, that's when I was like, oh, I need to get split wheels, because I like put them in front of my 940 front, and they were at the time they're gold now.
Yeah.
But they were silver with polished lips. I'm like, oh, I gotta do that.
What you got to get? Well,
So I got
the
fixies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fixies are. Is that how you pronounce it?
I think so. I don't know.
I thought it was fix.
Wait,
Fisk.
wait, you're talking
Fisk.
I thought it was fisk.
I think it's Fisk.
I
no,
say
it's
fixies.
F-I-
Wait, hold up, pull up the wheels.
Just have Google say
Because
it first.
I'm thinking Fuchs.
No,
No, no,
fixies.
no.
But-
Fuchs is like the factory
Yeah,
wheel.
Yeah.
like the 5-spoke with the lip.
Yeah, that's always a good look on a 911.
Yeah,
I
but,
actually really like those on Volkswagens
I spell
too.
it right.
But
I was
back
thinking
to-
about trying to fit the.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right,
FM10.
yeah, yeah.
Fisk.
Oh, those are the wheels you have.
Fixie FM. Yeah, they're the split one. The
I
second
think
one.
they
in
look spectacular. What
Yeah.
size are those?
17 by 10 and 17 by 8.5.
Yeah, that's a good.
And they're perfect. They look great. They fit great. I needed to do a little bit of spacers because I didn't want to buy new lips yet.
Right,
But
right.
But anyways, I drove back to your 996, 997. I drove Healy, my old roommate, bought a 996 turbo, and that changed my life. Like, I drove that thing. I could not believe it was how fast it was. It was a rocket ship, and it stayed glued to the ground. It had all the creature comforts you want in a car. Because it was like a 2001, 2003, like out of 2001 maybe. So that's like,
So you would take a 996 turbo?
yeah,
Over
probably.
So would you?
No, not a 996. I would take a 997 turbo. Like, if the money was, I want
yeah.
the round headlights.
Okay,
so
yeah.
really round.
I'm not a
sides.
fan.
So we gotta make some sacrifices.
Am
here.
I the weird one that loves 996s?
I like 996s, but would you rather have a 996 Carrera or a 997 Carrera over a 996 turbo?
996 turbo.
996 turbo every time. Yeah.
Okay, because comparably, you can get a 997 Carrera that's minty for like 50, 60, right? I think still, maybe. And you can get a 996 turbo for about the same
50,
price.
60, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd
They're
get-
like
I'd
in,
get
the
a-
clean ones are in like the 70s.
70s, yeah. I feel like they are creeping up on
They
the
are.
turbo.
Like,
thing,
I'm not
yeah.
going to claim to be a Porsche, like...
I'm barely. I
person,
just
but,
like,
like,
I
I-
look at them like I like that one.
We like
I've-
cheap ones.
I've heard
Exactly. That's not in my price range. I don't pay attention.
yeah, right.
from some people that I've talked to, just get a base 996 Carrera.
Well, I drove one of those
And,
too.
like,
My-
it's-
I saw
yeah.
one for sale for 28
It'll
grand the other
scratch
day.
your itch.
I saw one for
With
sale.
an IMS bearing was replaced.
Yeah.
Everything was done.
Was it silver?
It was silver.
So I looked at that one. There's another silver one online right now for 22 that is a former race car that, like, I'm about to like take a small business loan out to like to buy it and restore it as
You
a
should
YouTube
email
series.
IE and be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Hey, help
can
me,
you guys cover
please."
50%
Yeah.
of this?
No, but like you see, like I feel like if there was like Porsche YouTube content crushes, like regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
So like you buy something like that, like, oh, I bought the cheapest Porsche, and you put it on the internet. That's like the type of stuff that will actually make you money. Not like following me over 2 years building an engine because I only have 1 month a year that I can spend
Right,
out in the
right,
garage. You know what I mean? But like, not only would it be fun, but then you'd have a 996, almost race. Like it's it's caged interior strip, so it'd be like return it to more of a street trim, and $20,000 996.
So you're not,
it has
you're not
20,000 miles.
You're not
on it.
breaking into the air cooled stuff, or do you feel that the market is too expensive for what you get? Because I do talk to a lot of people who are my age who are like, well, I have no fucking idea what air cooleds are. Like that's why I was funny talking to Andy yesterday. Like he's like they're so simple, but it's complex in the fact that no one knows how to work on them.
Yeah.
So it's almost like
But it is the market though, because
Dan knows how to work on them. That's all that matters.
But
somewhat.
but I
mean,
think
air cooled I'm still breaking
but
into. So
I can probably speak for every single one of us. If we had the opportunity to buy 993,
Yeah, I would get that.
we would buy it hands down.
It's just like
But
the money thing
Yeah,
is
the
like,
problem is
What
it's-
does Mike have? Not this mic, obviously.
Mike, who?
No, Asha and Mike.
Oh, he has
It was a G body, right?
his is a G body.
What is it?
So that's pre 993.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pre 964.
And that was like the longest running body of like
Yeah.
any car ever. Like what was it, 70?
His is
to
a 911
1991?
SC, so it's a 3-liter.
Yeah,
that's
convertible.
Yeah,
That's
wasn't it
literally
like
a bargain right now. Those cars, that's where I'm looking.
Yeah, minimum
Because you
50K
can do about
for a clean one.
50K, but they're an air-cooled 3-liter. They're extremely fucking reliable.
You want like a convertible Targa or hardtop?
I would not want a convertible. I would do a Targa.
I want
might
a
have
Targa.
to-
I
I
would
know a guy
only-
that might be selling one.
Really?
Yeah.
I would only buy a Targa.
No,
Targas are sick.
Hardtop
Yeah.
for me, man.
Hardtops are the way to
See,
go.
my
for
thing is
sure.
like one of my favorite features of the 911 is like the
swoopy
rear
roof,
window
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
like that
I
little,
agree.
you know what I mean? And it's
I
like you
agree.
lose that.
But the Targa for a bargain for the
Yeah.
right car, I would do it.
yeah.
You can get the Targas
Yeah.
pretty, I don't know, not cheaper, but like they are cheaper than
Yeah.
a hardtop.
Well,
so
the
if you're
hardtops
into
are like
them-
the pinnacle
Yeah,
of it.
There's
But
something about the Targas
Yeah.
that get
Honestly,
me. But like 996
for
though,
you though, like if you tried to break into like the air cooled shit, a 912. Like I've been thinking, like if I could get a 912 body, like a clean
Yeah.
vintage body.
Yeah.
The problem is that now people are like,
They
okay, cool, we
understand.
can swap these
Yeah.
cars with something cool.
yeah, the 912 market
or
completely
you just
changed.
put an SC motor in them. Like I
Yeah.
met some guy at Luftacult and his car was a complete beatbox, but he was down to earth. He was like, yeah, I had a 912. I swapped a 3-liter into it, and now
Yeah,
I don't
you
have to
have a
worry
911
about
yeah.
it because
But-
it's
and
not
you
like
still have a 911.
numbers matching.
Yeah.
He's like, it drives great, and it's like I can laugh at rich people that think that their cars are worth all this money. And, I have the same fucking car. It's just not.
Yeah.
It's not a collector's.
well, think
piece,
about like
you know?
the Porsche scene now. It's like anything with the badge on it is cool to
Yeah.
people in or out of it, which is kind of cool.
It's
kinda
hard
neat.
to attain. It's like
It's like an exclusive club, you know.
exactly. Well, I think people hate it and they love it, but I think that like if you appreciate the engineering, like I think I just read something today. I sent it to you guys. Mustang just crushed.
Yeah.
That Nürburgring lap, and
Yeah.
then Porsche came out with they just brought out a 911 GT3 Club Sport or something, and they crushed it by 7
Like,
seconds
hold my beer.
with 300 less horsepower.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like,
yeah, probably because
dude,
it weighed like 2,000 pounds less.
just-
Those Mustangs, what are they, like 6,000 pounds? It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy how these muscle cars are just like, we'll just keep adding horsepower until the physics works out.
Yeah.
But like,
I think
again,
everyone should
yeah.
own a Porsche at one
Yeah.
point. If you haven't, or didn't you have a guy that drove a 914, or you were friends with a guy that drove a 914? Like one
Yeah,
year
so
old.
one of my old managers that worked at Seacoast, he had a 67 911.
Yep.
That was a complete driver. Like it was, I think it was a true mileage unknown car.
Yeah.
It was a driver, and he drove it to work all
They're
the time.
actually like really
And it
reliable
was
if you drive
gorgeous.
them.
Yep.
Yeah. And then he had a 914 that he was doing a full restoration on. So he traded the 911 to the guy who was restoring his 914.
Oh, really? Was it
So-
914.6?
I don't remember.
Because there was one.
but it was-
I don't know if you saw that.
At Cars and Coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That car was
Yeah,
cool.
but he traded that. I mean, he had
Funky little things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
car.
fucking cool,
Yeah,
man.
weird.
Yeah.
And I found, so I was talking to some
Like
guy
this
the other-
resto mod right here. I've seen this one. It's crazy.
This one?
No, on the right.
This
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, in the
So the orange one that was at Cars and Coffee, it had the wide flares, which I thought was a factory thing, but apparently that was fiberglass only. You would add that on. That was like a kind of like a hot rod, or what do they call it? The outlaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the whole outlaw scene is crazy too.
I
You
love
dig
the
into that?
outlaw shit.
Yeah, like
I think
Rod
the outlaw.
Emery and
Yep.
like Yep.
Yep.
Gunther Works. I don't know if it's outlaw, but
Dude,
those
Rod
cars are
Emery
crazy.
is
It's
I saw
crazy.
his shit at SEMA and I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
guy is
Yeah.
serious.
But
about
that's
it.
like my dream. If I ever could do something and make money for a living doing it, it would be that. I wouldn't like focus on one brand, but I would do that. Like have my own style.
Yeah, but dude,
and build
do
cars.
you know his whole history? Like he's like the purist, but that does the outlaw. Like he's
Yeah.
the most qualified to doing
Yeah,
outlaw
exactly.
cars because he's
Exactly.
like, this is how you make these outlaws. Like this is how you do
yeah.
the wide body because this is what Porsche would have done. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Which is really cool because that's what we try to do as enthusiasts too, right? Like we're like, okay, if Honda designed a car, we want it to be like, what if they went a little bit crazier with it, right? Or like,
it was like the OEM Plus scene
OEM
back
Plus,
in the
that's
day. That
what
was
it is,
exactly
dude.
what it
That's
is.
what it is. You're like, all right, so this body line is just needs to be a little bit wider.
Yeah.
And it's
Still-
And what would Volkswagen do with this? And they would just like, you know,
Still to this day, I feel like every build should be OEM Plus.
me too. I think it's the best way to do it.
It really is. Like
It speaks to the way they designed the car in the first place.
It just-
Exactly.
and
it
I
just-
think
like,
Singer has done an
Oh my
excellent
God.
job with that.
really, really nice stuff.
Awesome.
It just
I mean,
sucks these days though, because like speaking from like a person who drives newer cars, you don't have that opportunity anymore. Because
maybe
everything is U.S. market specific.
right.
So like I can't for my car, I can't go find European parts for my car because they don't exist.
Well, it's like for the
Right.
people listening, like I think of what you're saying. I think of like Mark III people. You would get the car and you would get like Euro bumpers, Euro tail
Yeah.
lights, like all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it would just you would have to get like a rad support or something. But like most of it would just like
Yeah.
bolt on.
But-
just same with the 944. That like I already have all that stuff priced. Well, not priced out. I have all the parts numbers. I'm gonna hit up my boy Jake at Porsche. And
Jake, that's who I hit up.
Because I was like, I saw you help Dan out. Can you help me out with the same thing? But like, I'm afraid
Probably
of
double the price now
I know.
because of the fucking
Well,
the war and shit.
I had my garage crammed with a bunch of stuff over the winter, and because I was doing the wall, so I was like moving stuff around. I had the wood splitter in there, and I like went to move, and I just scratched the crap out of my rear bumper. So now I look at that, I'm like,
Fuck.
it was just a sign to like,
Dude, how crazy is it though that you can walk into a Porsche dealership and order European bumpers for a 1985 Porsche, but you can't get a fucking door latch for a 2015 Jetta. Yeah. Because Volkswagen's like,
Nah.
we don't make it anymore. Like, what the fuck?
No,
they do have the Heritage division in the UK, which they have backstock on stuff, but
oh,
it's like-
Porsche's like the whole entire brand is like even their parts catalog is a magazine, and it's beautiful.
It's so good.
It's just like
I have
the
it
attention to
downloaded on my
detail-
phone for the
I have
944,
one,
dude.
I have one in my office on display because
That's
it's
sick.
so like beautiful. It's
you should
like,
make it a like part of the wall.
yeah,
Like,
it's just like, and the more like you get involved, and I feel like that's why the 944 prices are going up. It's like very low barrier to entry into this
Yeah.
world that you like didn't even really know existed. Like it was so unattainable for most of us growing up, unless you're really smart in like 2005 and picked up a 911 for $3,000 or
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? There was a time.
I wish I
kicked
got about a
myself.
911
There was like a
at
time
15
period
years old.
where like you could get them, but like now it's like, oh, it's too late. So what do? I want to be
in 2005, the most unreliable friend I had at the time wanted to go halves on a 911 Targa that was for sale for $12,000 in Nashua, maroon, absolutely fucking mint. And I was like, that's the craziest shit ever. I was like, I'm not giving you $6,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know these cars are gonna be worth a shit ton of money though, dude. How sick is that car? It was parked right at the top of Main Street with a for sale sign. If I bought that car,
They're 57, 60 grand now.
yeah. Dude, and this thing was cherry. Like
Yeah.
we were like $12,000. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
if-
I even thought about it, but that kid was so unreliable that it would have been.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but if you were talking about like rabbit holes though, like I fell down this rabbit hole the other night, like you were saying, like after the kids go to bed, you like watch something on YouTube. I watched something the other day that was talking about why invest your money when you could just buy cars.
I've been saying
And
that.
it was literally talking about how 5-6 years ago, Gallardos, for example, you could have bought a clean one for like 60 or 70 grand. And then look at the market today. They consistently gained pretty much $1,000 in value
I think about
every
this. Oh, yeah.
single month.
I-
So you could have bought a Gallardo, put 15 or 20,000 miles on it. Granted, if it wasn't already like, an 80 or 90,000 mile car.
Yeah.
But if you bought like a 60,000 mile Gallardo, even today at 75,000 miles on it, it was worth almost double
yeah,
what you could have bought it for.
Way
a few
more fun
years
than
ago.
the stock market too, because you're not driving any of those.
Well, that's
stocks
the
around.
problem, though. That's what happened to the Porsche market.
Yeah.
Is that these people who
Yeah.
weren't enthusiasts
Yeah.
came in,
Yeah.
like
Scooped up
Sloan,
20,
Sloan
yeah.
Motor Cars. I
Yeah.
think I think it might have been People's Car or maybe it might have been Revival. Somebody interviewed the guy from Sloan Motors.
Yes. Yeah.
and he
Revival.
grew up selling Porsches with his dad. And it went from enthusiasts who drove the fuck out of their cars to
investors.
Yeah.
They
And they
just
were
sit on
like,
a
hey,
shelf,
why
yeah.
the fuck would I buy stocks when I can fucking hold on to this car for 2 years? and
Sloan's
sell
been
it?
on like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing we can only hope is that in another 10, 15 years, when we're all more successful than we are right now,
I think we will be.
the
so we'll be
market
good.
the market's going to crash,
Yeah.
and we can all get our 911s that we want.
No, I think like that's probably going to be our next car, unless you want to sell me the RS4 for like a good price.
Yeah.
But,
No, I don't know.
because
We'll
like
see.
that's
I
like
that car. a
one of
lot.
the things like I'd love it. I need something with 4 doors really, because I don't get to drive my car as much as I would like.
Wouldn't it be nice if we just had the RS4 wagon here?
Oh my God.
I would have just fucking.
I've been looking at
We
like,
need more wagons.
I've been looking at
period.
like JDM, like importing cars from like Japan, and like there's a lot of cool Audis and Porsches and stuff.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
you don't get a
right-hand
deal.
drive, right?
Some of them are.
Some of them are,
yeah.
some of them
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Because some of those cars got imported to Japan.
Just because I couldn't do the right-hand drive for a daily.
Yeah.
That would
No,
be tough.
it wouldn't
No,
be
there's
daily.
there's plenty of
Yeah.
regular like left-hand drive cars.
Like you even say it.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Right-hand drive kind of sucks driving daily. Because
Yeah.
you're like, what the fuck? What are you
Yeah.
delivering mail?
Luckily, I only go 8 miles.
You're like, well, there's a
Yeah.
mailbox. Fucking right there. Oh, very close.
yeah, it's tough, but I mean, it's cool. But yeah, you can't daily it.
I mean, you can.
You can. Yeah, I mean, you can.
You can, but like how, like as you get
Practical?
older, you're like, this seems crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you put your kids in it, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
I guess it would. Do you think it's more unsafe or like probably not?
what right-hand drive for the
No.
driver? Yeah,
A little
because
bit,
you're
right?
like you're
certain
more prone to
corners-
like
I mean,
a head-on
realistically, isn't
on collision.
any older car is
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
True,
safety
true.
standards are always
Unsafe,
way
yeah,
down.
I mean-
but like the chance of someone hitting you head on are higher because you're in the middle of the road sitting versus left. But
So
like,
what were you looking at, like Mitsubishi or something? Because I know they make some cool wagons.
oh no, I was just looking to import something cool.
Mitsubishi Mirage or something?
No,
like
it's the Legnum VR4,
No, I'm looking
so
at
it's the
European
Galant
cars.
wagon.
Like I
European. I
was
thought you said JDM.
I was looking at the JDM market
market.
for European cars because I feel like that's like a
yeah,
sneaky back
Yeah.
doorway into getting something maybe a little cooler
Right.
for a good price. And I don't know, it's a JDM market E350 wagon or a JDM market S4 wagon or whatever. There's a little bit more options, and now that like we're getting old, like 2001 was long enough ago, there's a lot more options
Yeah.
to import stuff.
B5 RS4.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Dude.
on my list. But
That'd
but
be
I
a
also
great
like low key think like hopefully a 911 is just my next car, and like my daughter will be big enough to just sit in the back seat and we'll be good. My son will be a while, but he's still in the car seat. But I still cram a car seat in the back of the 944.
and that's what I always tell people. They're like, "Oh, I got to get rid of my cool car."
you don't have to do that.
no, and I tell people that all the time. I'm like, you jam those little bastards in the back seat.
And you make them car
Yeah.
fan. You make them
Yeah.
car enthusiasts just like we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a Mark IV GTI, and Laura had an E36 convertible. Mm-hmm. Put the car seat in the back seat. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass for you,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. You don't need to go out and get
And
an
like my
SUV
kids love
or
my
a four-door.
car. My kids love my car. Like they're all. It's not precious enough that I care. Like the interior, like I need to redo the dash. The couple seats are separated, so it's like not that precious to me. So like I just
It's almost better that way.
Yeah, it is nicer. Like it's like a liberating feeling almost because like I scratched the bumper. If that was a 911, I would
yeah.
be fucking losing my mind. But it's like it's a 944 and I want to replace.
That's why
this
you need
bumper.
a 996.
Yeah, and I want to replace
like,
this bumper.
fuck it.
Well, like also after that, I cleared out everything out of the garage. There's
Yeah,
nothing but
yeah.
cars in there now, because I'm like that's not happening again. But the kids play in it, like and that's how I got in the cars. Like my grandfather had old cars, broken down cars in his driveway, and I would just sit like my parents would go visit him, and they'd be inside talking. I'd just be outside like pretending to drive like a Fiero or like a MG Midget. Or he had a couple Triumph like TR2s, and I was like, "This is really cool." And I've always been like kind of mechanical. Like I like I break all my toys first off, but then I take them apart. Well, let's see how this thing works, and that's why I kind of went down the engineering angle. But like cars just were like the perfect thing. It's like you get the freedom to like you can jump in a car and drive anywhere. I think that's really cool. But you can also like take a car and make it look however you want. And I think that's really cool. And on top of that, like you meet a bunch of cool people depending on what car you choose. So it's like it was like the perfect like
You'll have to share
Yeah.
that Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, I'm going to.
because at the end, one of the mechanics that left, he was like he went and worked other trades or did other things. He got back into it, and at the end, it was beautiful. He was like, there's nothing better than like basically what you said earlier. You have, sometimes you gotta diagnose it or whatever, but you get all these new parts and you get a car, it comes in running like shit, and you fix it, and then you kind of understand the engine or whatever, you fix it, and then it just runs perfect, and you're like, wow, the satisfaction of then probably the same way you felt after your Audi. You're like, holy shit, dude. But and then you drove it home and it was fast as fuck.
And it's like 2 months later, I drove to H2O and I beat the ever-living crap out of it the whole time, up and down the strip. Open wastegate, I'm like, there's no way this thing's gonna make it there and back.
But it's like it did. But it's like what you said too, though. It's like a car is freedom.
It is.
To every person, it means a different thing. Yep. To someone, it's
an
just
appliance.
It's an appliance. It's just their A to B. To other people, I'll speak for myself, it might be an appliance that you swap out of all the time, but you're buying what you feel like
how
works.
you want to express yourself.
It's like an outfit for you almost. At the time. Yeah. But then you've got other people like you, Dan, that you still have your first car, right?
I love that.
You don't necessarily buy
stupid.
Yeah. Right, but you have an affinity. I've said it multiple times. You have an affinity for shit boxes, and there's nothing.
Weren't you saying earlier that all these cars we wish we saved that now are worth money?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Weird how I'm starting to catch on.
Yeah.
And hey, listen, dude. I follow the trends, and I try to keep cars that will hopefully make me money, and that's the thing. Like.
Listen,
that's the fun I'm having. I could have had a 911 GT3, but instead I built a garage.
Listen, if one of those
sick garage, like first of all, you built that first garage out, and I was like, that is sick. I would love to have something like that. And then I was like, all right, I fine, built my, and then you built that second. I'm like, holy shit.
Wait, I got so many more tricks on my sleeve, dude. I just need the time.
You don't realize how big it is.
I need to go see it
until you see it. Like you're like, oh wow, that's pretty
now
big.
That it's warm, I'm gonna
I still remember the night we were out to dinner. We were at Bellagio, and you were just like, we were all a couple drinks in, and you were like, I just put a deposit on a garage.
Kim's like, I thought it was a 40x60. I was like, yeah, but they convinced me that like a lean-to was stupid, so we just added more space.
It was only like another 10 grand, whatever.
Yeah, no, dude, I know. Fucking down the rabbit hole we go. But no, I agree 100%.
Now
like,
we want
shit boxes left and right. Like I got an Audi A6 in there leaking oil on the ground.
Yeah, but it's like a car means something to everybody. Like I've appreciated every car that we've owned because it served a certain purpose for a certain point in our lives.
Yeah.
So, like even like, everybody hates SUVs.
Hey, not everybody. I like the
I hate SUVs, but it's like, our Atlas. I'm not going to say what's going to happen probably in a couple days, but
I have a soundbite for new cars too.
Yeah. But it's like,
what are you getting, a new one?
Long story. We'll talk about that.
Another new one?
We'll talk.
Keep track of this guy.
We'll talk about this on a different day.
We'll talk about it when it happens.
We'll talk about it a different day. No.
You're getting rid of that
Probably
too?
pure gray. But anyway.
That's not bad.
But it's like every car has served a purpose. It's like, even like the silver Tiguan, right? So it's like that we ended up lowering after it became mine when I got rid of the Volvo. Like that brought my first son home. So like that car, it doesn't matter.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that I don't have it anymore, but like it served. Like, I will always remember that car because I drove Logan home from the hospital in it. The Atlas, we took Cole home from the hospital in it. Like, I will always remember that car.
I didn't have a license when Laney was born.
Because of that. And it's like every single car I remember served a purpose in my life. And I think that goes with, like, whether it's an appliance, whether it's a commuter, whether it's a project, whether it's a dream car that you've had.
Yeah.
I think every one of us that are in our realm that we're in, being car enthusiasts, every car that you've owned, it doesn't matter how simple, how shitty, how new, how old.
It's touched you.
It's always served a purpose.
In a weird way.
And it's always touched you in a weird
deep down inside.
Yeah, like in a weird. What was that Third Eye Blind's on? Deep inside of you. But no,
sing it a little bit more.
Deep inside of you. I'll go back to the Chili's theme song. Don't worry about it. But it's like it's always served some sort of purpose, and it's like that's the thing. It's like I've owned probably just shy of 50 cars now, somewhere in that ballpark. But it's like every single one I remember. I remember the day I bought it. I remember what I did with it.
People
why
I
I
met with
sold
it,
it,
yeah.
the people I met with it, like what I did with it, whether it was moving from one place to another or some stupid memory. Like it's just something that you don't.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm selling the Passat, and I'm like kind of sad about it. Cause
Dude, I still remember when I drove it and broke the windshield.
Dude,
I mean,
he
it was great.
drove it. He borrowed it for. It was my loaner car for people for a while, but it's been sitting in front of my bays, and I haven't had any time to touch it. But like mechanically, it's solid, and it's like 250K VR6 4Motion, and I'm like,
I love that.
it's just
that
one
car.
of those cars that like Luke lived his whole life in that car,
Yeah.
you know, and that car has just been was one of our most reliable cars of all time. So I'm not gonna sell it until I'm gonna try that. So I'm putting a new fender on it.
Did you get the fenders?
I got to pick it up on Monday. One fender. But
Okay.
remember, I picked up a bunch of body parts for it down in Virginia when I was coming back from my vacation last year. But like that's how I feel about that car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care about making money off of it. I just want it to be a solid, good car for somebody else because I care about it in the sense that it's sentimental to me, which is so fucking stupid.
It is. You should just send it with.
But
the
I
fucked up
literally, I
fenders.
pulled the center console the other day to fix the airbag light. I had to run an overlay from the seat to, because I was like, I don't want to sell it with an airbag light. But me and Bergeron were talking about this. When people like us sell a car, it doesn't matter if it's like, oh, it's a cheap car.
Yeah.
If you sell a shitty car to somebody, it's like it's gonna blow up in your face because they're gonna be like, oh, he sold me this car and now it's broken. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do everything I can to make it. But I also care about the car, which is so weird.
I remember when you
but-
bought that because I worked at the dealership when those were brand new, and that was like the bee's knees. That and the
dude,
Touareg,
dude.
Because I had a Touareg back in the day. I remember I brought you the book. I was like, I don't have it anymore. And
I
was
have
like,
it. I still have
remember
that on my coffee
I rode
table.
like an e-bike from my work to your work. And that was actually really fun.
Was that when you were at Din?
No, I was working. So I worked at Iron and Air in between.
Oh, that's right. It was a motorcycle magazine.
Yeah,
right?
so
Or-
I managed their like business partnerships, a lot of their like social media partners. Like we did a lot of stuff outside. We produced a magazine, obviously. That was like the main thing.
Yeah.
But we did like content projects for major brands. I remember the first day I started, and I was like, I always wanted to get into the industry of like cars, or mostly cars, but motorcycles are cool too. And the first day I had like 3 meetings on my calendar. It was like BMW, Motorrad, Indian, and Suzuki. And I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, this is like my dream
sick.
job. But then and like we were traveling, doing shoots and stuff. I was like, this is so cool. But then the pandemic happened
that's-
and crushed all like
did the
print
whole
media.
did
The magazine's gone now.
oh
yeah,
no
those
shit.
guys
was that
moved
was
on.
a print magazine, right?
Yeah, quarterly. It had been in business for like 10 years, but they.
Where'd you get the Touareg book though?
I got the Touareg book when I bought the Touareg.
Oh no
So
shit.
the guy was like, I bought this new, and he gave it to me, and I was like, that's so cool. And then I got rid of it. And you had just gotten yours. I mean, you know what? I bet
was it
Dan
the
would
black
like
one?
this.
The first gen that I had?
Yeah. It was
the
way
silver
back,
one
yeah.
I just got like
But
last
like,
year. But.
so like the 3.6 Passat and the Touareg were like the crown jewels of the Volkswagen brand back in like 2000.
Well, that's why like I felt like I needed to have those cars because when I was going to Waterfest and shit, it was like Jettas, Golfs, whatever.
Yeah.
But like if you had money and you were like the car, like if you were just a regular person and you wanted the elite, it was the Phaeton, the Touareg, and the 3.6 Passat.
Yeah.
And that's why the
I remember
Passat,
driving one of those,
it means a lot. I drove that car. I bought it for $700, and I did timing chains. I did subframe out, all the bushings, fucking everything. I drove that car from 2018 up until last year.
That's wild.
And like I put work into it over the years. I put the European center console in it. I did SolarWorks coilovers, 034 strut mounts. I did like I'm probably forgetting a bunch of shit. But
2
the
new windshields.
4 probably.
Yeah.
Votex front lip. But the guy who owned it before me was also kind of like into the Volkswagen thing.
Yeah.
He was a marketing guy for Volkswagen when that car was new. They gave him it as like a release. Like I don't know. It was cool. He had a bunch of cool shit. But I don't know. I get what you're saying, Mike. Like to me, I can touch like it's very textile to me. So like my first car I didn't want to sell because it means so much, and people used to leave notes because I lived in Hudson multiple times over the years, left notes because it was just parked on the side of my. But the reason I bought the gray 944 was I was like, well, I'll pull the motor, and I ended up was like, this is a nicer car, you know,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah,
that
you know
deal.
that happens,
Yeah.
And but the white car, I was like, I can't sell it. And Kim is such a weird. She's so weird. She's such a vintage type person too. So she's always like, no, you can't sell that car. And she's like, we have too many cars. And I'm like, yeah, I know we do, but what do you want to sell? And she's like, well, you can't sell the first 944. and I'm like, really? Because I've gotten to the point where I'm like, maybe I should sell it. Because it's like, what am I gonna get for it though?
Yeah.
You know. And at this point, I wanna But I'm hoping this Passat can be somebody's good car for like at least 3 or 4 years because the timing chains have been done, all that shit's been done. And it's like, just put somebody in it and drive it and just be like, this is a weird car for somebody to have.
It's a cool car.
It's a cool
you
car.
said 364 motion, right?
364 motion.
I drove one of those. I remember I drove one of those down.
Sport seats.
Yeah.
you know.
I drove one of those down to the Cape once to do like a car when I worked at Volkswagen. They're like, the service manager's like, oh, just take my demo car. And it was a 364 motion Passat.
Yeah.
So I had to drive it like 3 hours or like 4 hours back and forth that day. I was like,
a great car.
yes.
We have to do a plug for a future episode. We should probably go into like some of like that cool, because like personally for me, like obviously I'm not a big Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 arguably
You
Mark
should
4
be a Mark
person.
3. Mark 3s are the shit.
He's
looking
And
for
they're, and they're now going crazy in price.
I know.
You could
So-
not see Mike in a Mark
so
3, though.
I love
No, never,
I love
never.
Mark 3s because of yours.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
Was
the
it a-
sole
which
reason
one, the
why I
green
love
one?
it. The black joint.
oh, the black joint.
the black
The
joint.
GTI?
That-
No.
no, the Jetta.
Oh, it was the Jetta.
The
Okay,
the
all
Jetta.
right.
That like because that was like that was when I met AJ. That was
That was the one with the RX2s on it?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
That
that was
was-
the one that you broke the oil pan on the way to
Broke the
Dustin.
oil pan.
I love that car. I did love the green one too.
I say Vong.
But-
Vong was a VR Jetta
Von
guy.
Baller?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Vong
bowl-
Baller.
I bowl
And the
with him.
picture, we both had green Jettas at the same time.
I bowl with Vong on
But
Mondays.
you,
Yeah,
Mike,
but-
Oh, tell him I said, hey, I love that dude.
you're definitely.
That wasn't when I
Oh
owned it.
yeah,
A guy-
that was at Seaconk, right?
Yeah, I went
when they had it.
This
at
was the
Seaconk.
year after I sold it, and the
Yes.
kid had it. His parents ended up buying it blown up and fixed it up for him.
But like I think like 05, 06, 07, 08, even arguably into 09 was kind of like some of the heyday for Volkswagen, and I'm pretty sure my
Same.
old coworker EC still has all of the old order guides
yeah,
that Volkswagen published to the dealerships from those years.
that's pretty cool.
So I would love to go in because I remember we were talking one day because for some of that stuff, like he's a nostalgic VW guy too. He currently has a manual 19 all-track that he bought when they came out. But I think, I forget, like nobody hold me to this fact. But like at the time in 06, 07 with the Passat, there was something along the lines of like almost 2,000 different configurations
That's wild.
of
That
a
makes sense,
Passat
though.
that you could order between options, colors, seats,
Engines,
whatever it may be, and it was just insane. But it's like I remember. So you're talking about the 364 motion.
Yeah.
I remember Symboli at the time when I was working at the dealership. The old owners of Seacoast, before the owner that I was working under, they had traded an 06 2-liter front wheel drive sport package. So it had the sport seats, pretty much everything from a 3.6, the San Marcan wheels, everything, but it was a 2-liter and it was blue graphite with the gray interior.
Yeah.
And we were going to send it to auction because it had like 110,000 miles on it or something like that. Like we weren't going to sell it. And I think at the time, like Symboli picked it up for like $5,500 or something like that.
Oh, that's funny. He
He
had pretty similar
yeah,
car.
so like I remember I had like texted him and I was like, dude, you're looking for one right now. I'm like, this thing is
Kinda sick.
stupid clean.
Yeah.
That's the one
And
we
we ended up
flat
coming in
rated
and buying
the
it.
air suspension, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just like some of like the weird.
what does that mean?
So we took the air out
curious.
of his Mark V.
Yeah, we took the air because he had
Flat rated.
Yeah,
we jammed the
Could be good, could be bad.
we jammed the air out of his Mark V Jetta into that Passat in like
I don't know. What do you
couple
think the
hours.
best facade is? Because I think it's the W8 wagon, the B5.
Oh, dude, I have a hard time between the R36 B6.
Yep.
Because the R36 is arguably
Go US based.
okay. US based, I think the coolest one is the W8 wagon with the.
See, I'm like I think the B6 wagon, because of all of the different configurations you could have got. You could have got your, you could have got a manual.
Auto.
Yeah.
No, you could have got a manual 2-liter.
A manual 2-liter.
We're talking about
non-all-wheel
a
drive.
we're talking about a W8 6-speed. That's so sick.
4Motion,
yeah,
bro.
4Motion.
Right, but I mean, like,
That was the coolest car.
but who in their right mind is going to pay fucking
You know what's funny though?
$15,000 for one of those?
They make 260 something horsepower. I think it's like two. It might be like 270.
It's trying its best.
So
I
they
thought it
make
was like
less than the 360
Yeah.
with a 4-liter
That's
W8.
like all the muscle cars of yesteryear.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Who
this thing
cares,
got
though?
a
Yeah.
7-liter
You
V8.
put a
I'm like, cool, it's
fucking
got 100.
MagnaFlow exhaust
Yeah.
on that
It's awesome.
and just drive
It's
it down
the
the road.
experience.
Yeah, but I go for the B6s because you could get it. You could get your 2-liter manual front drive, right? You get the automatic one. You could get a 3.6 front drive. You could get a 3.6 4Motion. 2010, you could get the 2-liter with a DSG. Like it just had so many
I'm buying a
different
B3, B4.
combinations.
I was
yeah.
just
There we
about
go.
to say
There
a
we go.
B3 VR6 wagon.
Well, yeah.
12
Okay.
valve
Yeah.
with
I
the
know.
5-speed.
I like that. I like that car, but I'm still going for the W8.
Yeah.
I think
So,
that's the
I think
coolest
the
one.
Funny
W8
story about
Buy
a
the B3 VR wagon.
About a
Yeah.
B3 VR wagon. So they're used to right up the street from your house.
Yep.
So if you went up to, you come out of your road, take a left. You
Yeah.
get to like that weird
The T.
intersection where
Yep.
you take the right or take the left.
The town.
Yeah, the house right up there.
Okay.
Right
at
at the
the
front
T?
of that T.
Yep.
They had a B3 VR manual wagon sitting in their driveway for years.
Not before I moved, or I would have fucking bought that thing. Dude.
No, it was I'm going back like 2014, 2015.
Okay.
No, probably earlier than that.
That's
Maybe
too bad.
2012, 2013.
Do you think it's still there?
I think
It's
Steve
not. It's
Nowakowski
not
used to live over
because
there.
I remember after like a year of seeing it, I pulled off
Yeah.
and I was like, I gotta go knock on their door
Yeah.
and see. So I knocked on their door. Nobody was home.
I don't even know where that came from.
And so I left a note. As Dan's holding a Mystery Machine mug right now, just so everybody can.
Put one. My last
But,
beer in here.
I walked up to their house, knocked on the door, nobody answered, and I left a note. I left a note on the car. I was like, if you are looking to sell this thing,
Okay. Thank you.
you let me know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will buy. I left my phone number, everything like that. I'm like, just tell me what you want for it,
They
and
get back to you?
I'll buy
Yeah. No.
nothing. And then I completely forgot about it. And then probably like 2 years later, I drove by and it was out of the driveway. And I obviously have no idea
Every
what
neighbor
happened
that
to it.
left a
But
note on my 944, the white one. They would just leave them note. Like there were multiple notes over the years, and I was like, nah, man, it's not worth it. It had.
What did you pay for it? Probably nothing, right?
I paid $3,000 for the white car.
Yeah.
In 2005. No, it must have been 2000. Yeah, because I just it was
16,
2004, 2005, and that was my first car. Sketchy deal. My dad knew the pawn shop owners. Probably some drugs related. I got the title. It was like Cars for Kids. I was like, what?
That's a write-off.
I was like, did this guy? So I don't even know. It could have been stolen.
Those places, the Cars for Kids, and
He bought it at auction.
no, but what they
Yeah.
the ones that they can't give to parents with kids.
Yeah, two-door
they-
944.
Yeah,
Who the
they,
hell
they,
donates
they
that?
sell them.
My dad loved that
They
thing.
sell them and reinvest the money back into the company
Yeah.
to buy cars
Yep.
that would actually work for parents getting minivans and SUVs and shit.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, but that car was $3,000. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I did some work to it, and then I drove it. My parents didn't really trust me to work on it
Huh?
because I didn't know shit.
Look at
back
you now.
then. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I became a mechanic because they wanted me to bring it to the Porsche dealership.
Yeah.
And I remember one time because I went to school at Nashua South, so these two really hot. I probably shouldn't say that, but I mean,
Whatever.
I'll tell Kim. There were these twins, these girls that were giving me a ride to school every day.
So
they lived,
two ugly twins. Okay.
two ugly twins. They were giving me a ride to school every day, and they were like, "So what's the deal with your Porsche?" And I just felt like so
Gold diggers.
emasculated or whatever you would say. is it
Emasculated.
emasculate? Because it was down at the dealership, and I was like, yeah, my fucking parents don't trust me to like work on. I need like a starter, and like then
And that's actually pretty easy.
they upsold like a timing belt on it, which honestly,
rite of passage
probably
on a
yeah,
944.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got to just do it. It's
But,
like an
like,
oil change.
my dad at the time, we lived off exit 4, and he was kind of losing his mind at that point. My parents were like, whatever, but his garage was just an absolute shit show. So I was like, Dad, can't I like work on it in here? And that's what really drove me towards. He was a car guy. He loved cars. He was always enthusiastic about it, but he never like gave me the opportunity to really like sink my teeth in. So that's kind of why I was like, so I remember I went into the Porsche dealer, and some asshole service writer was like, you're really going to need to learn a lot about these cars and this and that and whatever. And I was like, listen, man, I'm just looking for an update. Like, and he's like, we know your mom's paying for all this shit. And I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, honestly, from the opposite end of the perspective now, knowing like what I know, I would probably be the guy thinking that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's this classic Porsche, and I mean, to think back, I was just excited to have the car.
How old were you?
16,
Yeah.
17.
Even-
like, they were probably like, why does this kid have it? And I'm
Yeah.
like, they have no idea that my dad is a crackhead who got it from a pawn shop owner.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? But I was really into the car. I loved it. He loved the car too. My dad really liked it. He didn't want me to have a Mustang, so that's why I ended up with a Porsche. But
You would have never been
he
here.
did.
Man,
And
that
he-
could have
he
been a
loved it.
totally different trajectory.
Yeah, no, he was
You
good
would've
with
been
cars
street
too,
racing.
but yeah, no, I don't fucking know. It's a wild, it's a dirty game,
It's a
as
dirty,
Al
dirty
would
game.
say.
It's a dirty game.
Yeah. Anyways,
Well, we did another fantastic job of an
240.
hour, an hour and a half podcast for 2 hours and 40.
well,
Yeah.
it's. I mean,
I knew it was going to go long.
Hopefully, it was a good one.
No,
Are we
it was.
going to have another code word?
We no code word in this one, but we do need a title.
I think people
think
should
just the-
drink every time they hear the word Porsche in this one. That'll
Yeah,
be a
that
good.
would be
a
pretty
fun
good.
one.
what was
Got
the
that
name
up
of the old?
The black joint.
No, the original
Oh, World Crush.
World Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could do code words. We could do the black joint. We
Yeah.
could do.
I like World
We could
Crush.
do World Crush.
We could do World Crush. Code
You
word.
should dig out those shirts.
I'll
dude.
find a couple. I was.
So what's the name of the new thing?
Yeah, it's called Synchronized Spirit.
Okay.
We abbreviate it as S2.
I love that.
Follow us on the internet.
I'll,
It's gonna be fun.
I'll be sharing it and
Yeah.
putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main
description.
thing, and I still have Cardad at Cardad603. That's
do that
where
one too.
that's just me in the garage working. Supposed to be very minimal lift for me from a production standpoint.
Are you going to incorporate children into that, or just the dad?
My daughter definitely does make an appearance.
Yeah.
Like she'll just start talking and walking in front of the screen or yelling at me. It's actually quite funny.
Do you guys have dogs?
I have a dog and a cat and 3 chickens.
Oh no shit.
3 chicks right now. They're like, so I started this week with no chickens. I started this week with no prospect of getting chickens, no prospect of driving to Boston to get a 60-gallon air compressor, and didn't think I was going to be on a podcast. And look how it ended up.
Here we are.
What'd you drive here?
My wife's car.
Oh,
I didn't know what the parking situation's like, so like all I have is a
fuck it.
2500 coming. So I was like,
Oh yeah, that's safe. That's
it's gonna be
safe.
sticking out in the middle of the street.
Don't say. I've got to ask the question because my wife would be mad at me if I didn't. Mm-hmm. In Bedford,
Yeah,
what are the land requirements to have chickens?
I don't know what they are. They're allowed though. I know that.
Fuck.
I bet if you had 3 unregistered cars outside, though, you'd be fucked.
What do you mean 3? It's just the one. And, you gotta have one run registered
Really?
car. Yeah, they need to be like in a garage. or
Candy is
something.
like, fuck it.
Yeah, do what you want to do. But
I have a feeling Candy is going to turn.
How do
into
they
Bedford,
know though? Unless you
if
live,
it
like-
doesn't move for a long time, then someone has to complain, and then
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's
town
like
has
your
to-
neighbors.
I say
Yeah.
somebody has
It's
to.
your
Believe
neighbors.
me, I did some scouting of the neighbors.
Yeah.
We were looking at that.
Well, your
house
wife
today.
wants chickens too.
Yeah, she wants chicken. She
Don't
wants
worry,
goats.
She won't get this far in the podcast. We're good.
Yeah.
She never
Yeah, she
finishes.
won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely
Yeah.
listens. I take that back from a couple episodes ago. She
Do
listens.
we
she
split
never
this
finishes.
episode?
We got about an hour in before we moved on to him.
Different
direct-
time. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't say shit.
You did. We
But
just laughed.
I don't think we're gonna split it. I
Don't
think
split it.
No, we'll rock it. We'll do the do the split episode.
We'll try to
next
split
week.
it next week.
But yeah, it was really fun rapping with you guys.
Well, yeah. Whoop.
All right, so code word is World Crush,
Yeah, Code World
World
Roll
Crush.
Crush.
and
Yep.
then
If you comment Black Joint, also that works.
yeah. So you can listen on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast. Follow us on Instagram, 3 Pedals Podcast. Also, 3pedalspodcast.com, carhouse.com, carhouse on Instagram. Capone, Send It, Dan J. Pendleton, and
AJ's
AJ.
mine.
AJ's mine, Car Dad 603, Drive Works for Dan.
Synchronized Spirit.
Al, you didn't fuck up the outro.
No,
so
great
no,
job.
I've been doing good.
Beautiful.
I butchered the intro. We had to start over and let Mike do it.
Yep.
So
Again,
thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, y'all.
Sweet.